vitamins and minerals.
4 bowls?
Takes 4 bowls of Nutri-Grain for that.
The call goes to Total.
Is that official?
Yes.
Total. 1 bowl, 100%.
This has been TBS Newswatch. The following is a presentation of TBS Sports.
This is the site of the 33rd annual Coca-Cola 600. Oh, adjectives for this. Let me give you some numbers to consider. 42 Winston Cup stars are at the ready. 150 to 200,000 people are gathered around this facility. 600 miles the distance. $1 million at stake. Hello, everyone. Ken Squire welcoming you to our coverage, our flag-to-flag coverage today here on TBS of this, one of the most prestigious stock car races in the world. 33 years ago, 60 cars came down to the line, 3 abreast. Today, they're 2 abreast, and it's just as exciting as that very first encounter. Up in front today will be Bill Elliott in a Ford and Kyle Petty in a Pontiac, and Pontiac General Motors trying to get back on this Winston Cup scene. Thus far this year, it's been Ford dominated, but they say that today could turn the encounter around. Who better to speak to that than a man who won this race in 1983, 1984? Tell us about this 600, Neil Bonnet.
While we're talking numbers, let's talk big numbers. 600 miles. It's tough to get a car to go the distance at this racetrack. And let me tell you, it's extremely hot today. The big speed increases we've seen at Charlotte in the past week, they didn't come down the straightaway. It's corner speed. In turn, the drivers are working harder in the corner. They're expecting more of their cars. Sometimes the cars are not doing it. They're getting out from under them. We're going to have to see who can get their cars through these corners and survive 600 miles.
Consider the man on the pole. He's never won this race. He's finished second on 2 occasions. But Bill Elliott, now driving for Junior Johnson, is ready. He's standing by with Randy Pemberton.
Well, I am on the front row with Bill Elliott, a winner of 4 races in a row earlier in this season. Hasn't had quite the luck in the last few races, but Bill, can you turn it around today and go back to victory lane in the 600?
Well, we got a good start at it. We'll just have to wait and see, but I think the Budweiser Ford's running well.
Track conditions going to change at all on you today?
I'm sure it will. If the clouds come over this afternoon, it'll cool off, but, right now it'll be pretty slick.
Okay, let's go back in the grid where Dick Berggren, editor of Stock Car Racing Magazine, is standing by with a guy that can win a bunch of money today. Dick?
That's right. If Davey Allison can win this race this afternoon, he gets a $1 million bonus from Winston. But last Saturday night, he was involved in a grinding crash that knocked him cold at this same racetrack. And the question is, Davey, can you run all 600 miles today?
Well, Dick, we've got a million reasons to stay in it, and we're going to try to take this Texaco Haviland Thunderbird from back here in 17th place up to the lead and try to win this thing. It's a long day. It's 400 laps. There's no sense in being in any big hurry in the early stages of it. Larry and I have talked, and we know we're going to have to make some adjustments along the way, and we'll just try to have the best line of communication we can until the checker flag falls.
Well, I'm up here on row 1 on the outside of Bill Elliott where Kyle Petty is strapping in. Unfortunately, these guys have already got a problem. They've got a radio communication problem. They've switched the radios out, trying to talk to Kyle to make sure they'll be able to go the distance with these radios, as crew chief Robin Pemberton talking with Kyle. So hopefully these problems will subside and Kyle will not have a problem, because certainly communications in this sport is everything.
One of the major stories here will be Richard Petty today. He will be starting back in 12th position in this, his final 31st performance in the 600. Now let's join the 82nd Airborne Chorus in the singing of our national anthem.
stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. From rockets red glare, home in the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
Welcome, America, to Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the 600. And welcome to a great American hero starting in 12th position, standing by with Dr. Dick Bergen.
Richard Petty, a great qualifying run. What do you anticipate for your final World 600?
Well, we don't know. That's what we'll come to find out, I guess. A little harder than what we anticipated, but we'll go out and run and make adjustments accordingly.
The crowd seemed to be on their feet when you came around. Do you sense the enthusiasm all these people have for you?
Yeah, I really do, and I really appreciate it. I want you to go out and try to help them out a little bit, okay?
Richard Petty, the king.
42 cars are at the ready. Let's go down to the STP Pit Communication Center. Standing by there to cover the action today will be Rick Benjamin. But we're getting the command to fire the engine right now from Bruton Smith.
Coca-Cola 600 is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. By Goodyear, #1 in tires. By Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars. By Autolite spark plugs, guaranteed for 2 years no matter how far you go. And by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts.
You're looking live at today's starting lineup for the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brett Bodine on the outside row at the head of that particular group of cars. Welcome to the STP Pit Communication Center. I'm Rick Benjamin. A host of stories we'll keep you updated on all afternoon long. We've talked about the 42 starters today. The final ride in this event for King Richard Petty. The heat could be a big factor. We're expecting trackside temperatures as high as 120 or perhaps 125 degrees. It's already about 90 in the air here at Charlotte, North Carolina today. We're also going to be keeping track of some other things, some other stories to tell you about. We expect visits today from Jeff Gordon and Todd Bodine, who were at the forefront of yesterday's running of the Champion Spark Plug 300 here at Charlotte, which we brought to you live on TBS. And a little later on today, you'll have an opportunity to participate in the Gillette Halfway Challenge. If you can make a call to our special number, we'll give that to you a little later on. You may win a brand new Chevrolet Lumina for your troubles if you name the correct driver who's leading at halfway. All those stories and more coming up down here later on.
Field just about ready to be given the command. I believe they're getting 3 preliminary laps today, Neil, before they're going to turn them loose.
They usually give them several laps to warm them up, but we're just talking about how hot it is, and 3 laps will be plenty to get these motors ready to go.
They may cut it back to 2, we're now being told. Earlier this morning in the drivers' meeting, the consideration had been 3. Anything else out of the drivers' meeting this morning we should talk about?
Well, I think they're just telling everybody to use their heads early in this race at 600 miles, but when you're talking to 40 of the best race car drivers in the world, you don't need to remind them. I think everybody's got a game plan, and you'll see it unfold during the day.
So here you see, we're back to row 6. And let's take a look now at the starting lineup for the 33rd annual Coca-Cola 600. On the pole with a new record, Bill Elliott in car number 11, the third time he's been there. Alongside is Kyle Petty, who won this race in 1987. In row 2, it's Ricky Rudd and Brett Bodine. Row 3, Arkansas's Mark Martin and Ken Schrader from Missouri. Row 4 today, Rusty Wallace, who won it in '90, and Alan Kowicki. In row 5 is Sterling Marlin from Tennessee and Dick Trickle. In row 6, it's California's Ernie Irvan and Richard Petty, the two-time winner. Row 7 is Dale Earnhardt looking for his second win in this race, and Terry Labonte. Row 8 is Michael Waltrip and Ted Musgrave. Row 9, Davey Allison, defending champion, and Darrell Waltrip, the 5-time winner. Row 10 is Jeff Bodine. He's been here, done well. Jimmy Hensley in the 66 car, Cale Yarborough, and the rest of the field. Dave Nader III has qualified well. In there with Bobby Hamilton for row 11. Row 12, Dale Jarrett and Bobby Hillen. Going to row 13 is Morgan Shepherd, Harry Gantz there. Row 14 is Greg Sachs from New York, Hutch Strickland from Alabama, Stan Smith and Derek Cope. In row 15, it's Rick Mast and Joe Ruttman stepping in there in the bottom end of row 16. Row 17, Jim Sauter, Gary Ballou. Row 18, Dave Marcus in his 21st performance. Row 19, Jimmy Spencer, Wally Dallenbach. Row 20 will be Randy Porter and Bob Schatt back there. And then in the provisional starters, there's Jimmy Means and Charlie Glotzback, a former pole sitter back in 1971, starting 42nd on the field. One more to green. Quick look at the course.
Again, this thing is a big tri-oval, start-finish line right here in the dogleg in the middle of the front straightaway. Big sweeping turn down in turn 1, easy exit off 2. The banking is 5 degrees on the straightaways. Each straightaway has 5 degrees. You get down in the corners, you're dealing with 24 on each end. Don't let it fool you. It shows the same numbers, different corners. Real tricky off 2, real tricky off of 4. So it's a little bit harder to get off 4 than it is at 2 at particular times during the day. We have a lot of spins.
Riding in the 5th place car inside of row 3 with Batesville, Arkansas's Mark Martin, the Valvoline Ford, taking you down the backstretch as we get set to go. And now you're about to be with Dale Jarrett further back in the field, as he'll also be giving us some strong pictures today, hoping for a good finish. Car number 18, here's Jimmy Hensley, Trop Arctic car, getting set for a start today. Joe Ruttman will also be giving us some pictures. There they are, car number 20, the Orkin car, as we prepare for a start. Pace car is coming in, 400 laps. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for the Coca-Cola 600.
The start is going to be very critical, Ken. Positioning early in this race, you get shuffled back. These guys will race real hard on this first lap to get a good starting position.
Everybody clear through 1. Into the back straightaway for the first time on this mile-and-a-half track. And a move on the back straightaway as they stack them up. Here's Ricky Rudd going for the lead on the bottom of the racetrack. Ernie Irvan falling off the pace and sliding back through the field. Hutch Strickland in the number 12 getting around him. Back with the leaders as they come to the line. Ricky Rudd leads the first lap. Kyle Petty slithers down to the inside, stays in second. Bill Elliott on the high side. The pole sitter back in third. Brett Bodine in fourth for the moment, and having it taken away right there as they slip into the back straightaway.
This might be something we see all day. See Rudd move to the inside. The GM guys are trying to work with the other GM drivers, and Ford's working to Ford. You're going to see a little team workmanship all day long, trying to help each other as the day goes on.
Kyle Petty working on that second spot against Bill Elliott as they complete lap number 2. Ken Schrader rides in that 5th spot. Going to 6 is Alan Kowicki up from 8. Brett Bodine sliding back to 6th position from 4th, and Mark Martin now 7th as they go around turn 2. In the back straightaway, the leader is number 5, and it's still even Steven. Back straightaway, Kyle Petty for the moment gets a little bit of advantage. There's the quick interval that's being developed by Ricky Rudd over Kyle Petty in second, then the number 11, and here comes the 25, Schrader. He's a bomb out there.
That's something we haven't seen all year, that GMs be able to work on these Fords even at the start of these races. There's 3 General Motors products taking the lead away from Elliott. And I don't know if he's just pacing himself or what, but you can't pace in this type of racing. So it's unbelievable to see the Chevrolets take off like they did.
Dick Bergen, what about this Rudd car taking off like this?
He is a rocket ship out there. He sure is, but I'm also watching Ernie Irvin rocket his way to the back of the field. It sounds like he's running on about 6 cylinders. They changed the motor on that car this morning, Ken, and the motor they put in it is not running on all 8.
That's a deal where they'll just try right now to ride it out and hope for a caution. There's no reason to pit now. If they can stay out and catch a caution, they'll have to see what's wrong. If not, they got to come in on green.
See Tony Glover looking anxiously on. And there you see Ricky Rudd. This is his 16th 600, and would you believe this? This is only the 2nd time that he has led in the 600.
It's hard to believe it. That little thing of Kyle Petty's coming in there behind him. Kyle has been the strongest car in practice every time they open the track.
Battle for 12th position. Earnhardt, Allison, Saturday night, Winston, all over again. Here they come through 4. Davey Allison driving car 10. They a little touch there, huh? Hello?
Looked like a little bit close right there, but it's early in the race. And Davey moved outside, was able to get around Dale on the outside.
Earnhardt down on the bottom. Allison on the outside. Allison driving hurt today, black and blue all down the left side of his body from that hard crash on Saturday night in the Winston when he won $300,000. He still doesn't remember. Starting 17th. What's your strategy, Davey?
Do it in the early stages of the race.
Here he is in a pretty good little war with Dale Earnhardt in the number 3 as we get things started. Schrader has pulled himself back to 3rd spot. Up in front, it remains Ricky Rudd.
Sometimes you don't have that luxury of pacing yourself. Just the starting position Davey was in right now, he's a quarter of a lap behind, so he's going to have to run the car hard. You talk about pacing yourself, but still these guys are cranking out 170 plus mile-an-hour laps leading the race, so it's going to make him have to run hard to catch him.
Kyle Petty, 1987 winner of the 600, trying for a second, closes in, moves ever tighter on Ricky Rudd in number 5. This for the lead. They're working lap number 8.
And while they're working, Kyle is working the apron of this racetrack. That's been his strong suit all during the Winston, all during practice. Watch how low he runs on the racetrack. See the Ricky Rudd up high. Kyle Petty's running around the apron. And see the advantage there? He's able to run right up under Ricky. There's Jimmy Means' car going out, smoking.
The number 52 backing off, and look at this battle for the lead. Look at it quickly because Kyle's saying goodbye. Kyle Petty back out in front another time. He was so dominant in much of the Winston back on Saturday night, that $1 million race. First super speedway race under the lights held right here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And that's one of the 3 cars that figured so importantly in that last lap.
They talk about second guessing someone. That's not the car Kyle ran in the Winston. That's a separate car, a new car, and they brought us a different car for the race.
Take a look at this bunch up for the lead. Alan Kowicki right on the tail end of that for 4th. Rudd takes a look on the inside of Kyle Petty. The number 7 car, Kowicki, closes in on number 25, Schrader, who is driving really hurt today. Imagine a herniated disc. He may have to have it operated on early in the season here. But he's out here. He says he feels most comfortable. He can hardly move his neck, but he feels most comfortable. He slides down into that racing seat.
Somebody like Kenny Schrader, as much as he likes to race, he'd feel good in it with broken legs. I'm telling you, the place he wants to be is in that race car right there running these big races.
And Rick Hendrick has said to him, don't worry about it. Go to the hospital, get yourself fixed. You've got to ride with me. You've been here a while. I like you, but Schrader wants this race bad. You just saw Kowicki pull into 3rd spot. So as they're now deployed, it's Pontiac in 1st, Chevrolet runs in 2nd, and Kowicki's Ford is maintaining 3rd spot. There are now 10 laps complete in the 33rd running of the Coca-Cola 600.
This season, Bill Elliott's doing something he's never done before. He's driving the 670 horsepower Budweiser Thunderbird. But only after Junior says it's okay.
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Inside your smooth-running engine is a torture chamber. And under these grueling conditions, only one leading motor oil in every grade meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown. Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol. Why make things tougher on your engine? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Drag racing results on Castrol's NHRA now. Dial 1-900-468-NHRA.
Here we go again, guys. Wow, I feel good. Yeah, this guy really gets around. He's got the auto lights. American Orient Paul, we're guaranteed. I feel good. Yeah, 2 years no matter how far he goes. That's why we've been everywhere. Vegas. I feel good. Yeah. Daytona. LA. Wherever we're going. The Superman, yeah. And we're not even tired.
Car number 12, Bobby Allison's car. Hut Strickland at the controls has just lost control in turn 4. Slammed the outside wall and brought out the first caution of the day at lap 14. The Ray Bestis car now fires up. But just before that happened, Richard Petty's number 43 had gone all the way from 12th up into 8th position. Let's take a look at what happened to Richard Petty just about 10 seconds before Strickland went in the wall.
Here he goes down in the third turn. He's really been gaining on Mark Martin. The car gets away from him. Looks like it doesn't turn. He takes off the wall. The back end, watch, Richard does a good job here. Right front gets in the wall. He's trying to keep it on the wall to keep out of traffic, and he gets it straightened out. Right after this is when Hut Strickland spun right in that particular part.
Right there, just as he got it straightened out, Hut Strickland had that Ray Bestis car in trouble, number 12. Let's take a look at exactly what happened to Hut Strickland.
Looks like there might have been something on the racetrack right there, because both cars broke loose and took off to the outside of the track in the same position. Hut backs it up in the wall here, sitting in a terrible place right in the high-speed part of the track, but everyone's able to get under him. Does a good job of holding the car high on the track.
30-year-old Hut Strickland Chevrolet takes him for a wild ride in his fourth 600. Here comes Petty's car in. We can get a look at the damage on the right side. There's the leader, Kyle Petty, now pitting. This taking place at lap 16. Mark Martin is also coming in.
That's just the two of the lead cars came in. None of the other leaders came in but Kyle and the number 6 car. Mark had been complaining about a little bit of problem with the car, so it's unusual to see these guys come in this early in the race as good as that car was running.
16 laps, and only 16 laps have been completed. That's about 24 miles. There's Richard Petty's number 43. That side, of course, looking fine. It's that outside part that took the beating as it rimmed up against the concrete wall. What do you think?
Well, I was trying to see if it knocked the camber out of the right front wheel, if it knocked the wheel over, but it doesn't look that bad. Richard's car's got a lot of roll bar equipment right out against the outside. Maybe it leaned on the chassis a little bit, not on the wheels. Piece of duct tape. They were working on the car with duct tape, and the guy didn't get finished before they left. They'll have to bring him back in and let him pull that off.
So Richard Petty, 54 years old, twice a winner of this event, 1975 and 1977, both in Dodges, have to come back in and get a little work done there.
Well, Richard Petty just came over the radios right after he had hit the wall up there, and he said, fellas, I lost my brakes. So other than the toe end being out on the right front, Neil, the bottom line is Richard is running around with a little less brake than normal, and that could present a major problem with 580-some miles to go here.
But on the other hand, remember all those great races that Richard Petty won that year when he just dominated 110 in a row? And the point was that time after time he finished race after race with no brakes.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, this is a tough place to come around without him on there, though. Let's go down to Dick Berggren and see what happened to Hut Strickland's car.
Well, I'm going to ask a guy who knows for sure, his owner, Bobby Allison. How bad is this car, Bobby?
Well, unfortunately, there's some damage on the back end there. The guys think they can get the sheet metal fixed. Looks like the chassis is still okay.
They got their work cut out for him. Part of the damage is to the fuel filling system. They'll have a problem.
Well, there's Hut Strickland, who's
Rick
qualified
Benjamin
in
Pit Central. Rick?
Well, Dick, certainly as we watch Hut Strickland move back down pit lane, there will be a lot of work to be done on pit road, especially by the Bobby Allison crew. We also see the Ernie Urban car there on pit road. They've been working with a plug wire problem, perhaps a carburation problem, we understand, to try to get the 8 cylinders in that automobile firing evenly and get Irvin back up to race speed. An opportunity for you at home, though, today to participate in the Coca-Cola 600 and win a brand new automobile by taking part in the Gillette Halfway Challenge. Before halfway in today's race, here's the phone number to call: 1-900-436-7000. That's a 95-cent call. You must be 18 or older. If we call you back after halfway and you can tell us who's the leader at halfway today at the 200-lap mark, you'll win a brand new Chevrolet Lumina Z34 from Gillette. And it's a great way to get involved in today's action. So please make the call now. We'll keep you posted throughout the race. And, of course, we'll let you know who wins today's Gillette Halfway Challenge. Also, there's $10,000 up for the driver who's leading at halfway today here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Hut Strickland's number 12. Owned by Bobby Allison, 3-time winner of this event. Being administered to after a hard cloud on the 4th turn wall here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
When we saw Petty a while ago go in that corner, we said the front end looked like something happened to the front end. The front end took away from him. We also saw him come in and pit, and you saw the rear wheels lock up on the car as he was pitting. These cars have dual master cylinders. He must have only rear brakes. That's the reason the car tried to get away from him going down in the corner. The front end wouldn't slow down, just took off from him as he turned in.
Hut Strickland's car had finished 6th here a year ago. He's got a lot of work cut out if he ever intends to get that close again. He may be going to lap down right here. More from Charlotte live in the 600 in a moment.
Travel behind the scenes of the new Harrison Ford film, Patriot Games. And go behind closed doors at the real CIA.
What you see in the movie is only the tip of the iceberg.
Patriot Games, the secret world of spying, May 29th on TBS.
Take a look at this revolutionary new car wax. Turtle Wax. New high-tech formula Turtle Wax. The no rubbing, no buffing, bring back the shine 12-month car wax. This is an old beater, but in just minutes, today's Turtle Wax safely brings back the shine. Get today's high-tech formula Turtle Wax. Watch out, some household detergents can strip car wax, so use Zip Wax Car Wash. It cleans safely and lets the Turtle Wax shine through.
Oil. It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard Oil Filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
Open road, mountain high, morning mist, golden sky. Kawasaki, it's where I wanna be. City streets, desert sun, rolling hills, forest run. Kawasaki, it's where I wanna be. Yeah!
No matter where you wanna be, you can get there on a Kawasaki.
Kawasaki, let the good times roll.
Monday night, Otis Nixon, Terry Pendleton. The National League's hottest 1-2 punch looks to knock Atlanta back to the top. Braves and Phillies, 7:30 Eastern, Monday night on TBS.
Back with you with 20 laps now complete. Under caution, the first 10 laps run at a record 168.7 miles an hour. And then we've had a lengthy caution here after Hut Strickland's cars crashed before this massive crowd. I'm sure it's the largest crowd ever at the Charlotte Motor Speedway meal. Getting set on a restart, and as we do, you see Ricky Rudd in front with the pit stops recently. Alan Kowicki in second. Going third is Ken Schrader. Fourth is Elliott. Fifth is Wallace as we get ready to go. Should Winston Cup drivers race in Busch Grand National? Remember our question from yesterday? 83% say keep them right in there. Keep them trucking.
Makes for a great show.
Thank you very much for calling. Appreciate it.
Great show and good training for the Busch guys. They really love it.
Pictures out. Here we are, ready on a restart. Getting ready for a go. Pace car is in. Back in 7th, Labonte. 8th, Davey Allison. 9th is Earnhardt. 10th is Marlin. 11th is Teddy Musgrave. Jet Bodine is in 12th. Waltrip is in 13th as they come streaking back to the line. Let's go back to Mark Martin, who finds himself in the Valvoline car back in 27th position to start. Watch him come up. Take him long to get to 167 miles an hour on that start. at Ford telemetry, giving you a picture of what happened. Whoa, a little bouncing, a little rippling there as they get going.
Looked like Kyle Petty got into the side of the car right there on the inside and really ricocheted him out. And here's down the back straight. Watch the RPM at 82, 83, 8,300. Rolls out, touches the brake pedal just to set the car in the corner. He's looking under Kyle here. If you notice, the lowest the RPM went was like 66 or 6,700. The motors stay at high RPM all day long on this racetrack.
Getting around Joe Ruttman, that puts them up to the 24th and 25th positions. Cars 42 and 6 respectively as they dash through the field from the rear after their pit stops. Meanwhile, in the lead, it's Ricky Rudd Chevrolet. Alan Kowicki's Ford Thunderbird, number 7, lies in that second spot. Maintaining third is still Schrader, while back there in fourth is Bill Elliott. And Rusty Wallace creeps up in the Roger Penske Pontiac to 5th position.
Boy, Kowicki's holding Ford's end of it up. He's right there battling for the lead. Looks like he's got a lot of car. Rudd's going to have his hands full holding him back. When Rudd came out here to practice, they brought 2 cars. We've been here for virtually 2 weeks getting ready for this race, and they bring a different car every time they came out here. It looks like they picked the one that's doing the best job for them right now.
Let's take a look a little further back at how Mark Martin is faring as he tries to come up through the field. Here you see him with Kyle Petty working as they try to move around. They've already knocked down 2 more cars. That gets them up to 22nd and 23rd positions respectively as they come down this main straightaway. Mark Martin fading, going up to the outside, get a little running room there. Here's Davey Allison in the car number 28. He's running in 7th position for the moment.
He just passed several cars. He started well back. They had a little bit of problem qualifying with a new car, and he's really been working his straight way through there. He tried on the outside of Bodine. He couldn't quite get around him earlier. But he's really been coming through the pack.
The Kenny Bernstein car running in 6th position, number 26. Brett Bodine is there. Brett had a good qualifying run. Look at him stay down on the bottom. He qualified that Ford in 4th place. Davey Allison in 010, the 007 car that won here last year, won the Winston for 2 years, destroyed back on Saturday night in the Winston. This number 28's looking good. Here they are closing in. You see at the top of the frame there, number 11, then the 2 car. There's the 11. That's Bill Elliott. He's in 4th, followed by Wallace, Bodine, Allison. That's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th.
There's Davey going to the outside of Bodine. He's able to clear him on the outside. Bill Elliott just went around the 2 car of Rusty Wallace, and looks like they're on the move. Bodine fighting right back on the inside. He didn't give that position up very easily. Boy, this weather really threw all of these teams a curve today. It's been fairly cool. We haven't had, and just think we did a lot of night practicing, getting ready for the Winston. These guys spent a lot of time practicing at night. Big hot day today, a lot of track temperature, and the guys started guessing this morning. These crew chiefs had to guess what it took. The ones that hit it are going to look like heroes. The rest of them got some work to do.
Back to Mark Martin. He is now in 18th position. Here he is closing up on the Dave Mater, the 3rd car, number 9, running in 17th position. And that Ford telemetry giving you an idea of the paces the Roush Ford is being put through by Mark Martin on this 1.5 miles off the 24-degree banking. Takes it outside. The old number 9, the Elliott campaign, finished 2nd twice in this race with. Now Dave Mater, the 3rd, a very good campaigner out of your part of the country.
Dave ran a lot of short track. Here's Rusty Wallace and Bill Elliott going at it now.
4th place, side by side. Number 2, Wallace on the inside. It's Bill Elliott on the high side. Takes it right up around in turn 3 into 4. Here they come over the bump. Down the main straightaway. Look at this battle, and Davey Allison wanting a piece of this action.
Which guy do you think he's going to try to work with? He's not going to jump behind that Pontiac. He's going to jump in behind that Ford and see if the 2 of them can put Rusty out. Just as soon as I said, Davey tries inside, but he'll probably swing high on the outside coming off this corner.
Just behind them is Terry Labonte, the Billy Hagan car number 94 in 8th spot. You see it there, the Sunoco car, and that one's having a good run today. Back comes Wallace. Wallace in number 2, looking as stout as he has for some time, and look at this battle for the lead. Slipping and sliding on the inside, Alan Kowicki going for it. I think he grabbed first place, too close to call. Back they come. The 5 leans on the 7. Rudd on the high, 3 wide. Here comes Schrader down to the bottom of the racetrack. It's Ken Schrader low. Ricky Rudd is high. Alan Kowicki says, thank you. 600 miles. I'll wait a little while before I do that.
Let me tell you what, the manufacturers will tell these drivers, oh, do not get 3 abreast. The inside car does not have any air on it. As soon as they got him 3 abreast, you saw the car break loose, and he had to get out of the gas. That 3 abreast kills him.
But you're seeing the best stock car drivers in the world. They can pull it off. Do not try this in your backyard.
But you saw how good it told them not to try it, didn't you? They made
right.
a pretty good effort, and we're just 31 laps in the 400, so these guys are really laying back.
Schrader says, hey, let's go racing, and he did. All right, take a look at this. Here's Wallace down to the inside. Here comes Elliott trying to reel him in. And the awesome one from Dawsonville, Georgia, Bill Elliott on the high side. Wallace comes right back after him. Davey Allison hangs right in there. What a picture. 4th, 5th, 6th position. Slugfest. Here comes Bodine back in the bottom. And there you see that Sunoco colors in there, as well as Earnhardt in the number 3. Dale Earnhardt comes to 8th. Terry Labonte gets dropped back to 9th. What a race this one is. We're 32 laps into it. 400 laps the distance.
They probably called him on the radio and said just 370 to go, so they decided to race
with the program.
That's right.
How about Bill Elliott? Getting around through that slugfest, pulls himself in the 4th. The front 3 trying to gather up some steam and pull away from the rest of these guys. They like to get sorted out from the likes of Earnhardt. There are the 3 leaders. There you see Schrader in front. You see Rudd, and you see Kawicki. Now look back how much of an interval they've developed here, Neil. Whoa.
But what brought a lot of that on was that passing. They got side by side in that second group. They were swapping positions, and that inline racing up front enabled them to get away just a little bit. Every time Bill goes in a corner, gets a little bit high. Watch Rusty Wallace on that inside car, the black car, just stick it right down on the bottom and try to get that position back.
That interval is shortening up between those front 3. Here is Mark Martin. He's closed up on Musgrave now, and that is 12th position. So Martin has moved to 13th. He's moved around Waltrip. Was running in 14th just half a lap ago. Here he is up on Ted Musgrave in car number 55. Mark Martin having a beautiful run out of the back of the field. And along comes Kyle Petty as well as they make their charge back toward the top.
Mark's really having to use his time and bide his time and not get in a big hurry. He's got all day to get to the front. His car's capable of getting back up there.
Wallace at it again. Here comes Earnhardt to the bottom. Davey Allison on the outside, and Dale Earnhardt muscles his way on the bottom of the racetrack. The Intimidator, number 3, looking for his second 600 win. Looking good right here.
You know, it wasn't a height before this race. We've seen so much Ford dominance. Everybody said maybe GM has closed that gap, and it looks like they might not have an edge, but look like they're capable of racing them a little bit better than they have all season. Who knows how this thing will turn out?
Oh, wow. Takes you back to Saturday night in that run for $300,000. All you need is Kyle Petty, right?
Let me tell you what the run's for, pride right now. It's 600 miles, but everybody's wanting to show them that they can race these leaders.
But remember that for Davey Allison, this race is $1 million. He can win this race today since he has already won the Winston 500 at Talladega, and he won the Daytona 500. If he wins today, he collects $1 million in additional funds beyond the $1 million to put up in the purse. Got a lot at stake in that car. And Neil Bonnet drove this car a lot this week because Davey was banged up. He was hurt. He was flagging. Your reaction to this new car, Neil?
I tell you what, the thing drove unbelievable. Davey Allison asked me, he said, you use a helmet strap on it, goes up under your arm to support your helmet? And I said, Davey, I've never used them. He said, well, get you one and hook it on the front of the helmet and hook it on the stool. Well, this thing will snatch a knot in your neck when you mash your gas. And
put your head right through the back window.
Yes, sir, and I'm telling you, it is stout. It's a lot of race car. Drives extremely well. You can see why they win as many races.
To the STP pit center, Rick Benjamin.
Ken, one of the stories we're following is the progress of Hut Strickland and the Bobby Allison crew. Now, Strickland brought out the first caution this afternoon a few laps back when he spun coming out on the 4th turn. A lot of sheet metal damage to the rear. We understand there may be an airflow problem inside the car. Let's go pit side with Dick Berggren.
Rick, is probably 100 degrees here on pit road, but Bobby Allison, what is going on with Hut Strickland and the air inside that race car?
Well, we think what happened when the Rebestos Lumina got hit there in the rear, it tore the panel out of the wheel well. That's letting a lot of hot air into the car. Now, it may be also getting into the intake for his hose on his helmet. So we'll have to look at that.
That's the story on the number 12, the Rebesta Chevy of Hut Strickland. Now, one of the things that's happened is Mark Martin has sorted himself out. He's pulled up into that 11th spot, but Kyle Petty is back in 16th. You see Mark really on the assault here, making a tremendous charge. And look at Earnhardt come after Elliott. This is for fourth position now at stake. Oh!
Earnhardt had just passed Davey Allison, and the 26 car behind there went up, and now he's battling with Elliott for fourth place.
Gave him a little right jab. Just a little right jab. Let him know he was there. So he says, yeah, I know all about that. Here's Davey Allison right with him again. I'll tell you what, those GM cars are running well. Schrader is out in front. Remember, Ford has won every race this year. Can Chevrolet turn it around here in this $1 million Coca-Cola 600? It's Chevy running first and second. Ford running in third. Then Chevy pulled back to fifth with Elliott. Pretty good mix out there in the early going.
I tell you, a little caution in the wind. What's happening here? These guys are going for broke, and these cars, a lot of these Chevrolet cars are pulling a ton of gear, which is really turning a lot of RPM. They've got to go 600 miles to win it. There's a lot of them gambling.
You got a couple of Fords cranked right here going after each other. Elliott on the outside, Allison on the inside through 3 and 4. All this action at almost 170 miles an hour. Now, at 45 miles, 30 laps, the average speed was 131,707. And regular race fans, you know the story. Richard Petty holds the mark for this record. That mark was set in 1975 at 145 miles an hour, 4 hours, 7 minutes, 43 seconds. Everyone was saying that record cannot stay. It's going to go away today, and it will be done by the tremendous cornering speeds they picked up. Cautions will tell the story. Look at Elliott on the high side at number 11. Roll that Thunderbird around Davey Allison.
Boy, just before we got to that shot, they got together going in the third turn and kind of bounced off each other and went through there just laying on each other.
Over 150,000 folks here, Neil, enjoying this great battle as Earnhardt, Elliott, Allison, Schrader, Rudd all mix it up in the 33rd running of the Coca-Cola 600.
It is from Kodak. It delivers the highest resolution, microfine grain, superior image structure for ultra-sharp detail. It is called Ektar. Ektar Film by Kodak. The genius is in the details. Ektar Film now comes in a new cartonless package in 25, 100, and 1,000 speeds.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sport Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Nothing satisfies so many people in so many different ways. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Presenting the Yamaha Blast in the Summer Sale. For a limited time, you'll get rock-bottom prices and red-hot deals on Yamaha VXR and Superjet. Low financing for qualified buyers. No money down or no payment for 90 days. The Yamaha VXR and Superjet have the greatest technology to ever hit the water. So call now for the Yamaha dealer nearest you, because the best deals of the season are for a limited time only.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. The Coca-Cola 600 underway here on TBS. You're looking at live pictures of our Pennzoil aerial platform. Alan Kulwicki in second spot there, chasing race leader Ken Schrader down into turn 3 on the 1.5-mile trioval here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's been an exciting early race so far as we watch Kulwicki reel in Schrader on the main straightaway through the dogleg. Opportunities galore for you to get involved in today's Coca-Cola 600. Maybe the most exciting is to be a part of our Gillette Halfway Challenge. Once again, you can participate in the Gillette Halfway Challenge. Gillette, the maker of Right Guard Antiperspirant, deodorant, and the sensor shaving system. $10,000 will go to the driver who's leading on lap 200 at the halfway point today. And if you call us now, here's the phone number, 1-900-436-7000. It's a 95-cent call. You must be 18 or over. You can get entered in today's sweepstakes. If you can tell us, if we call you back after the halfway point, you can tell us who's in the lead at halfway. You'll win a brand new Chevrolet Lumina Z34. You could also qualify for an instant prize if you have the correct UPC code from a package from Gillette. So get on the phone, call us now at 1-900-436-7000. Be a part of today's Gillette Halfway Challenge here in the Coca-Cola 600.
Back with the leaders, Kowicki closing on Schrader. Schrader's best finish a year ago, runner-up in the 600. Wants this one bad. Ken Schrader out of Missouri, Fenton, Missouri, stays just in front. And look at this battle. Here comes Brett Bodine's number 26, being challenged. Bill Elliott there on the outside. This is for 6. Elliott in number 11, rides in 6. Bodine is in 7. At 40 laps, 60 miles. The speed in 10 laps had climbed from 131 to 135 mile an hour average as they go after that record of Richard Petty back in 1975 at 145 miles an hour. Bill Elliott, here's the reason that people think Bill Elliott's a great speaker.
Well, you got to. You know, if you don't, somebody might put you a lap down, but, you know, it's just a situation. If a car's going to live, it's going to live. If not, it ain't.
Okay, Neil, translate.
He's from Dawsonville. I can't translate that. I'm from Alabama. He's talking the wrong language for me.
You're just an hour apart, aren't you?
Yeah, we're real close here. But I tell you what, talking about close, every time we look up, Bill's racing somebody. He was with Davey Allison just a minute ago. Davey cleared him, got by now. Brett Bodine's really working on him. Bill's, you know, it's hard to tell if Bill's having a problem or he's content. He's the kind of guy that knows how much car. When I say content, look at his car slide high. I don't think he wants it. I think he's going to have to come in on the first caution and work on the car, because as he goes in, it looks like the car scoots up in the corner and they're able to get under it right there.
I'll tell you what, if you want to listen in Georgia speak, you want to get on to Perkles Pool Room there in Dawsonville, Georgia, which is a museum to Bill Elliott, and they really would like to get that siren whaling today. Look at Mark Martin close up again. Here he is up to 9th position, closing on Terry Labonte. Mark Martin getting beneath car number 11. Labonte takes his shot down to the bottom of the racetrack. And there's something to miss on car number 11. That Junior Johnson car riding far too high. He doesn't want to be up there.
No, he's having to chase the car. It looks at times like you drive a car up there, but if the rear end's coming out from under it, you have to steer to the right, just like you want on wet pavement or whatever. And he chases the car up the racetrack to keep it from coming around. And he's using up way too much racetrack. They're going to do a little bit of work on it.
Little figure skating out here at 180 miles an hour, folks. Now look at Brett Bodine in the 26. Remember that he is in the 6th position. Terry Labonte, number 94, right there in 7th spot. Mark Martin is in 8th and closing. And we've watched Martin march from 24th, 25th position all the way up into this top 10, getting ready to challenge those leaders. Back with those leaders now. Here is Schrader in front. Kowicki still in 2nd. Ricky Rudd maintaining 3rd. And Davey Allison just a little further back and forth. They've completed 54 laps. 1 caution thus far. Average speed on the 50-lap rundown has jumped again up to 139.6 miles an hour. Remember, they had that slow period after the Strickland incident as they look for a new record here today to break the record of Richard Petty back in 1975 for the 600.
I'll tell you, Schrader's really been working on this thing here. I thought Kowicki was going to reel him in, but Kenny Schrader's a pretty good racer. I'm not so sure that once he saw Kowicki coming, he just started getting out the whip and working on the car a little harder to try to drive on away from him. But Kowicki's not going to give up.
You know, more drivers, and this goes back to the old days, and have won the 600 by 2 laps and have won it by 1. There's 4 of them that did that by 2 laps. That goes way back to that very first race they ran here. Neil, you had some pretty close encounters when you won it in 83 and 84.
Yeah, one time I won it by car lengths, and the next time I won it by about 4 car lengths. I'd have loved to have a couple of laps to enjoy it.
Here's Elliott, car number 11, coming off the pace, down to 55 miles an hour. The time on pit road today as he brings the Junior Johnson car in. Something to miss here.
Yeah, when you're losing that much time on the racetrack, you need to fix it. Let's go down to Randy Pemberton and see what's going on.
Well, Bill Elliott just came over the radio and said the car was just getting a little squirrely on him, so Tim Brewer, the crew chief, opted to bring him in early. Let's take a look at the tires. So Tim Brewer now taking off the left side tires, and of course working on the left rear. That's Mike Hill. Gas man on the car is Henry Benfield. They're just going to change tires. Nice, easy pit stop. They're going to take a look at these tires and see if there is a problem with them. Coming in on lap 60 will be Ken Schrader and Ricky Rudd, the sister cars.
Randy, it looked like also while they were putting those tires on, they put a few rounds of bite in that left rear on that car, so he definitely needed a chassis change.
That pit stop took place at lap 56, if you're keeping track. 56 was the time that Elliott brought that car in. Ted Musgrave brings the Jasper engines, number 55, onto pit road at this time. Meanwhile, up in front, there is the Musgrave car. Former great runner out of the Midwest, moved up to Winston Cup, and he's had some very good runs of recent.
They switched, you know, they had a Nosemobile here 2 weeks ago. Now they're back down here with a Ford. They're trying to Ford with their team, and it's running a little bit better for them.
The Napa standings giving you the entire rundown after 50 of 400 laps have been completed. 4 tire change. Here's Bobby Hamilton coming in. Bobby Hamilton getting set to go again, and Ted Musgrave in his second 600 comes back on the track. 60 laps complete this time by on your leaders.
This is a little bit early for normal pit stops. The guys that are sitting in the catbird seat are the 6 car Mark Martin and Kyle Petty. They stopped on that caution on lap 21 and refuel, so they're going to be able to go further than he wants. Here comes the 22 cars coming down pit road also. Sterling Martin.
Here he is, the Maxwell House car coming in for service after they had the sister car in, number 11. And I think we're going to see Schrader and Rudd both pit at the same time. Both of the Hendrick Racing cars. Here comes Allison in. Earnhardt is coming in, and Brett Bodine all assembling on pit road under green at lap 60. This is taking place. This is happening at lap 60. We're 90 miles deep.
Boy, that stop early, I was questioning Kyle Petty in the 6 car to stop it early, but it's going to be good for him. Let's go down to Dick Bergman.
Pit stops, Dale Bonnet. These are scheduled pit stops. They wanted to come in early to make sure the fuel was all right. Earnhardt originally was going to take 2. He's changed his mind to take 4 because that's what Ricky Rudd is doing, and so is Davey Allison up pit road. Rudd is out of here already. Earnhardt's still in the pits. It's a slow pit stop for these guys. Having trouble with the left rear, but indeed a slow pit stop for Earnhardt at 26.26.
This is where you get some separation in these races. Some of those crews are just so much better, and they're all working on pit stops now. Alan Kowicki had his team working all week, trying to improve their time on pit road. He felt that was his Achilles heel. The Penske people, they've been doing the same.
Yeah, and as we're talking about Alan Kowicki, here he comes. He just turned down pit road as we're watching Mark Martin and Kyle Petty. There's Kowicki coming in right now.
This is putting Mark Martin into the lead and Kyle Petty into second as we watch Kowicki's pit stop. Here's Dick Bergman.
Alan Kowicki's up with the right side of the automobile. They're also going to do a 4 tire change. One of these guys comes in, they set the pace for everybody else. Everybody seems to do what the first car does. They got the right side of tires on Kowicki's car. He has now gone a bit further on the racetrack than most of the others, so he'll have at least a little bit of a fuel advantage if we go for a long green flag. Kowicki down and gone, a much better pit stop than Earnhardt at 21.72.
Also on pit road, Joe Ruttman has just come in. Morgan Shepherd has pitted his automobile. The front of the field looks like this. Martin, Kyle Petty, Dale Jarrett, Darrell Waltrip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jimmy Hensley has taken the 66 up to 5th. This is the lead right here. Mark Martin from 25th into 1st. Looking forward to some lap traffic out there. How do you use those lap cars in this track?
Well, what you want to try to do is catch them in a place where it's easy. Oh, there's Mark Martin real loose right there. Just as soon as Kyle got it behind him. That's the first time Kyle had really reeled him in, and he got him loose when he got directly behind him. Let's see if it happens going down in this corner also.
Didn't touch him, just came loose.
No, just took the air off the back of the car. That
at lap 63. Terry Gant has just pitted to 33, and he's getting back into it another time.
These 2 guys here have a 20-lap cushion on them. They can go 20 more laps now, more than the other guys, because they made that early stop.
42 trying to close in one more time. Out the back of Mark Martin's car, there you see Kyle worrying him a little, fretting him inside and out.
And that's what you don't want to see. When your car got a little loose like Mark's did just a while ago, you don't need to look back there and see nothing but the top of the guy's car because he's up under you. Kyle dropped back right there. I'm not so sure Kyle saw the looseness in that car. He said, let's the two of us, while we're ahead like this, let's keep these other guys down. He knows if he gets directly under the 6 car, he's going to get him real loose. He might give him just enough running room where both of them can run fast.
Ford and Pontiac running first and second. Kyle closes in another time in car number 42. Maybe going for it right here. Coming around to complete lap 66.
Mark sure gave him a lot of room right there. I'm not so sure he didn't know that he didn't need him back up under him there. Let Kyle go, but the two of them can run. But when you got a car that did what Marks did a while ago, it really gets your attention.
Kyle Petty pulling away for just a moment. A couple of car lengths advantage. This battle seesaws. Next time by, they'll be at 67 laps. That'll be 100.5 miles, 100 miles in the book of the 600 to be run today.
I think if you took a vote in the garage area, the sentimental favorite for a win would be a Petty, but it'd be Richard. But the realistic win would be Kyle Petty because he's been the fastest guy for 2 weeks.
There's your third place car, and that gave you an idea of the interval between those first two automobiles. And Joe Gibbs, car number 18, the Redskin Super Bowl guy, wanting to win a Super Bowl race, the 600 today.
In winner's circle, you know, getting all the congratulations, and everybody thinks you're the greatest person in the world. Next day, you're nothing again.
World War II. An American Marine stranded on a deserted island discovers he's not alone. Mortal enemies fight for survival. Lee Marvin, Hell in the Pacific. 7 Eastern, tonight on PBS.
Outside this old world just keeps on.
Randy Travis, he's the best.
Still the real things are.
What a voice.
Hello. It's when you found the real thing.
I think he's as cute in person. What I wouldn't give to meet a guy like him. Hey, Julie, want to ring up this Coca-Cola Classic?
Thank you. Can't beat the real thing.
Inside your smooth-running engine is a torture chamber. And under these grueling conditions, only one leading motor oil in every grade meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown. Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol. Why make things tougher on your engine? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Drag racing results on Castrol's NHRA now. Dial 1-900-468-NHRA.
Behold the passion and pageantry of the noble warrior within. Armed with a Snapper recycling mulcher mower with its 2x2 split-level blade. 2 blades for the way up, 2 blades for the way down. Their Ninja 2x2 blade cuts every blade of grass who knows how many times.
It's also handy that I don't have to take the time to bag. Looks like I did.
Snapper. Anything less just won't mulch it. Now pay nothing down and no payments until October.
Not that old lawn equipment again.
Last year he nearly jerked me up by the roots.
Wait a minute. All new home light equipment.
I told you he knows a great value when he sees one.
Look, it's a home light blower and a string trimmer.
Yes.
A home light hedge trimmer and chainsaw and a new home light mulching mower.
I love it when he gets environmental.
Just a little off the top, please. Do it right. Do it home light. Enter the Home Light Hot Hoop Sweepstakes. You could win a trip to the 1993 All-Star Game.
Here are the standings after 71 of 400 laps. Kyle Petty has appropriated first position. Mark Martin has come up to second spot. Dale Jarrett now finds himself in third. And Jimmy Spencer, driving that Travis Carter car, is in fourth spot. Behind the Pennsylvania driver, Dick Trickle is now up there in the Stavola brothers, number 8, running in fifth position. On the board, they are working the 73rd lap, and there you see the interval between number 42 and you saw the number 6 car running in second. The Pontiac up in first and getting ready to pit, we think, in about another lap.
I'll tell you what, not only weird thing, here he comes in. Looks like he's coming down low. Both him and Mark Martin will turn in right here. And it's a good thing for the rest of the field because they had him a lap down by that long caution they had.
Let's go to Randy Pemberton as we await the leaders on pit road.
Okay, Kyle Petty leads Mark Martin in. Kyle comes over the radio and says, nothing unusual, let's just get 4 tires. On the other hand, Mark Martin said, let's kick the spoiler up just a little bit and take a little wedge out. So on the 6 car, Steve Neal goes to work on the right rear tire. Chris Hussey on the right front. Tony Martin, the jack man, got the car up in the air. Steve Neal around. As far as the 42 goes, a little slow on the left-hand side. Robin Pemberton works on the front left side tire. They clean the grill off. Kyle Petty is down and away. A little slower, a little trouble on the right rear with Steve Neal on the Mark Martin car, but he's down and away.
Dale Jarrett has taken over first. Spencer has come up to second spot. The 18 car, for the moment, has the advantage. 98 is in that second position.
There's Dale Jarrett on pit. We're in the Dale Jarrett's car. They're servicing the car, cleaning the windshield.
And cleaning the back window, too.
Yeah, they're running around to the left side.
Getting it all polished up here. You're looking down pit road from this vantage point.
Mike Waltham sliding right in front of him for service.
Dusted everything off on that car before they brought out Joe Gibbs Interstate Batteries number 18 for another go here at 75 laps. Here is Michael Waltrip in the number 30 on pit road as well.
They're really paying attention to the front area of that car, cleaning that grill off, because it's hot today and they've got to get it where the radiator can stay cool enough or they'll cook these motors today.
There's Dick Trickle, who's been running up in that fifth spot, getting back out here another time. And this pretty well takes us through the cars that running up in front in the race, making this green flag period of pit stops with the 42 and the 6. Here's 98. Here's Jimmy Spencer in the Molly Black Gold car, going around on rubber on that car, which has been right up in the hunt. Directly in front of them, I believe that's the, they have it as the 32 car, and that 32 was 31. What was the story on that car, the black and gold, orange car?
Gary Ballou.
Gary Ballou's car. They changed the number on that car from what we had on the starting grid. That's Gary Ballou back, who's had some success here in Grand National racing, hoping to get something going here in the 600.
He was actually showing in second place.
Here's Ken Schrader in the 25 as we get them sorted out another time.
It's really confusing. Again, whenever 2 people did what Kyle and Mark Martin did, they came in on that other one. They actually had the field a lap down. It didn't show it, but they had them a lap down. And once they pitted, then they got back on the right sync. But boy, if the caution would have came out, they'd been in good shape.
Well, they had 98 Spencer still in the lead, and he was on pit road. Now you're seeing the leader, and that's the Kowicki car. I mean, I got to think that Ricky Rudd did not get that far down. What do you think?
No, that's just reverse right now. They usually, we go through this deal when they make a big set of pit stops like this, the scoring kind of gets out of sync, but it's pretty evident the 5 cars leading 7 to 8.
And he didn't get himself in trouble on pit road, so call it the 5 in first and the 7 in second. Hopefully he's going to be with us here, and we're not out of line, and he's somewhere snuck off for a while and had a soda or something. If that is the case, then you can credit Davey Allison with third, the 28, and give Ken Schrader fourth. I believe that good stop by Kyle Petty will keep him right up there in the 5th position, and Bill Elliott would be in 6th. We'll see. For sure, there's the front 2. Green flag stop. That speed keeps climbing, Neil. On the latest report, 60 laps, they've gone up to 142.7.
Boy, Rudd's car has really been impressive. When the race started, he took off. Seems like on these new tires, he's really got a lot for him. This car, they got around him after several laps a while ago. We'll just have to see if they've got it where he can run longer runs now.
Here they are down through turns 1 and 2 up on that 24-degree banking where all the difference is being made these days in getting around this racetrack. You barely crack the throttle as we saw from that Ford telemetry. Alan Kowicki, how fast are the corner speeds here?
You know, they're probably in the 160-mile-an-hour range. You don't slow down a whole lot here, but the track will get a little slipperier today, and you do have to back off here in the corners compared to a place like Daytona or Talladega, and that's why I like this kind of track better. I like a track where you got to back off and drive the car a little more.
We probably don't need to tell these drivers that we're looking at telemetry. He's saying 160. We were seeing 166, 167, and on cool tires, they're probably running close to 170 miles an hour through these corners. The corner speed is, when I ran the cars the other day, that's where I saw the big gains since I've been driving them before. The corner speeds are up a great deal.
If you're just joining us, we've had one caution period of total of 6 laps under the yellow when Hut Strickland's Ray Vesta Chevy got itself nailed in the wall up here in turn 4. Other than that, it's been blue skies, green flag all the way.
Well, I was looking to see what the corner speed. See, it dropped way down, but the reason it dropped down, Rusty Wallace had a problem in front of him, and he had to roll out of the throttle. He dropped 140 miles an hour. He lost 20 miles an hour. That one little split second that he lifted to go around Rusty Wallace.
Here he is, tucked right in behind Joe Rutten. Just a little stab on the brake, second stab on the brake. Hardly touches it.
149, 148 down to 1 and 2. But keep in mind, he's working traffic on the outside of the racetrack. He's not in the preferred line, so you're not going to see the real big numbers you would if he had the inside line running where he wants to go.
Think fast. That's the story if you're a Winston Cup star.
Again, I've made mistakes on this racetrack, and I've made errors, and I've had newspaper guys call me the following day and say, hey, I looked at it in slow motion. You should have done this. You should have done that. I said, if I had that luxury, I'd have done something different myself. You learn to live off split-second decisions, and you either do the right thing or you look like the biggest dummy in town.
Dale Jarrett, the Interstate Batteries, number 18, giving us these great pictures as he chases Brett Bodine, the 7th place car in the back straightaway. View is really limited when you're up on that banking. You can see it there out of the number 6 Martin car.
It looks like Bill Elliott.
The 18 car.
There was Bill Elliott coming in right behind him. He was running a lot lower line than he had earlier. Maybe they corrected some of that problem. Here's the leader. It looks like the 5 car, Ricky Rudd, is stretching it out on Kawicki a little bit.
Chevrolet in first, Ford in second. And if you're just joining us, Ford has won every race this year. Chevy trying to put a stopper in that bottle here in the 33rd running of the Coca-Cola 600.
Well, you know, we've been listening to all the drivers say, hey, we're ready for them now. We think we can race them. And you never can tell if they're trying to psych themselves up or it's the truth. But it looks like they've got a little bit better equipment to work with right now, and they're able to run with the Fords better.
And the interval for the moment, about 8 car lengths, belongs to Ricky Rudd in first place over Alan Kawicki, and he's chopping that lead right back down again in lap 85.
This season, Bill Elliott's doing something he's never done before. He's driving the 670 horsepower Budweiser Thunderbird. But only after Junior says it's okay.
If only your tires could talk.
It's so tiring. He babies the car, then abuses me with messy vinyl cleaner. Hey, I'm rubber. No-touch tire care. Ooh, nice foam.
No-touch tire care. The first product to clean, shine, and protect tires in one easy step. No scrubbing, no dirty rags, no mess.
Yeah, clean and shiny. Oh, no. Bad doggy. Go away.
Treat your tires right with no-touch tire care.
I don't need some fancy aftershave to tell me I'm a man. And I don't need some expensive cologne to make time with the ladies. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great. It also cools my skin, tones it up, and takes care of it after a good close shave. I don't need anything more. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
Skin Bracer Aftershave, more than a great scent, by Menon.
You know, you get into fitness, you're likely to get an athlete's foot, and it could get pretty tough. The irritating itch, the painful cracking, the burning. That's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Tough-Actin Tenactin. Tenactin cures even the tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. And Tenactin's clinically proven. No wonder it's the antifungal most recommended by pharmacists.
Got a tough case of athlete's foot? Get the medicine that acts tough. Tough-Actin Tenactin.
Keystone Beer presents a NASCAR profile. Jack Roush is a master at putting together winning combinations. He does it with an eye for talented drivers, hard work, and a foundation built with strong engineering. Add factory ties with Ford backing, and the successful Roush formula is complete. Roush has been most successful in sports car racing, where he made his mark fielding several different teams. Most of his success came in IMSA GTO and SCCA Trans Am racing, where he accumulated an impressive 8 sports car championships during the middle 80s. In 1988, Roush took a big leap forward into Winston Cup stock car racing. Consistent with his past, Roush put a winner, Mark Martin, into the driver's seat. In 1990, Martin and Roush closed in on the Winston Cup title and ran a close second that year to Dale Earnhardt. This year, Roush reinforced his theory of fielding several different teams by adding Wally Dallenbach Jr. to his Winston Cup lineup. With Roush at the helm, teamed with the success of Martin and the potential of Dallenbach, Victory Circle is never out of reach.
From the Pennzoil aerial platform, a view of the 1.5 mile Charlotte Motor Speedway, where 91 laps have been completed, 136.5 miles. And out in front for the moment, Alan Kulwicki is there at number 7, and Ricky Rudd is in the second spot as they dice up in front in this great battle.
Yeah, Kulwicki was able to get around Rudd just a few laps ago, but he's not been able to pull away very much. I say he's not pulling away much. He pulled out there, and Rudd was right behind him 2 laps ago. Rudd might be falling off the pace some.
Let's take a look at that pass that changed first place.
Here they are going down the back straightaway. Kulwicki makes a move to the inside as they enter the corner there. Kulwicki right down on the inside. Rudd giving him some room. Just a good clean pass going in turn 3. And since that time, he's pulled it out several car lengths.
93 laps now being completed. They're getting ready to lap Wally Dallenbach, who's running back in 33rd position. And we just heard about a feature about Roush Racing. First and second, 3 car lengths apart. They come down the main straightaway, and indeed, Wally Dallenbach about to go a lap down to the leaders. Gary Ballou back on pit road briefly and back on the track. And there you see Wally Dallenbach Jr. out of Basalt, Colorado, getting underneath Derek Cope and the Purolator, number 10, as they head into the back straightaway.
As we watch Alan Kulwicki and Ricky Rudd work on those 2 slower automobiles, Dallenbach in the 16 and Derek Cope in the 10. Time to bring you up to date on an ongoing battle all season long on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit. The True Value Hard Charger Award and True Value Hardware Stores puts up money at each Winston Cup race. Also at the end of the season, you score points as a driver by leading or running in the top 5. We're going to show you the season-to-date standings. Now, this year it's certainly been a Davey Allison, Bill Elliott season. That's borne out in our Hard Charger standings. Allison with a big lead of about 4,000 points over Elliott. Alan Kulwicki, though, stands a good chance at adding to his total. He's 3rd right now. Kulwicki may score a lot of points here today if he continues throughout the Coca-Cola 600 the way he's doing. Harry Gant, Dale Earnhardt rounding out the top 5. At the end of today's race, we'll let you know who wins the True Value Hard Charger Award.
Alan Kulwicki looking very good right here, right now. 4 career Winston Cup victories. I like Alan Kulwicki. He once said that when things are going bad, I've never been one to quit in my life. If I'd not stuck it out, I feel I'd have agonized forever. He's had some real adversity in Winston Cup racing, and he just keeps coming back. A lot of people favor him to win this race.
Then he was really criticized. He had some of the top teams offering rides on the circuit. Junior Johnson and several of those guys offered him rides, but he said, I want to build my own race team, and he's really stuck with it. And he's got a winning team on the circuit.
There you see it. He also was the one that said, just because I've got an engineering degree up there in Wisconsin doesn't mean I know how to fix the washing machine or the engine. That's not my game.
But he's pretty good at assembling a team.
Oh, he's great at that, and he's wonderful on geometry. He just knows how to make these cars work around these racetracks. That little washing machine right now has about a 3-car length advantage. There's the car number 66. Let's go inside of Jimmy Hensley's car, having a pretty good afternoon. KLR, that's about, what, the 3rd driver that they've had on the season in car number 66. He's in 15th spot at the present time. Back with the leaders, putting a lap on Dave Marcus. What a story Marcus is. He's been here for so many races. Wish that he would have a very good day out here in this 600. Starting his 25th 600 a day. Brought that Food Lion car right back up in there.
Again, the black car right here is a car of Jimmy Spencer. He's not showing up there on the lead, but he came. I've been watching him off the screen there. He's been running these leaders down. I don't know why they're showing him off. He was up there leading the race a while ago, but they got off on that pit stop, and he's actually been running the leaders down, and he's got an opportunity here to get a lap back. He's been reeling them in. He's got a chance to get that lap back. and be in contention before the thing's over.
There's a lot of rumors about that team that Travis Carter might be staying home from a couple of races after this. I hope that's not true. Travis Carter was fielding some great cars. Had that Hal Needham car years ago that won the 500 for the first time for Harry Gant back in, what, 1980, 82? Yep. Anyway, that's the same Travis Carter that has this number 98 out here today. And trying to get that lap back. And looking good right now for Jimmy Spencer out of Berwick, Pennsylvania, the two-time modified champion. Back straightaway, still Kowicki out in front. Still second is Rudd, and third is Davey Allison. Now we've completed 100 laps, which brings us to 150 miles, and we're already over the record on the up. Caution coming out. All we had to say was record, and you get a yellow. How about that?
I don't see anything around the racetrack. It must be debris.
They're saying that our old friend from Quebec, Pierre Debris, is out here somewhere. 146.562 was on the 90-lap rundown. We were just about to get to 100, which would have cranked it well over Richard Petty's mark back in 75, and out comes the pace car. There is the debris. You can see it lying there in the back straightaway coming out of turn number 2. So we'll take a commercial break and come back to more of the Coca-Cola 600 live on TBS from the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Racing, I can't explain it. You're kind of in a limbo zone. Time's different, speed's different, everything works different. It sounds totally cosmic. It's out there somewhere.
Kyle Petty and mellow yellow. There's nothing mellow about him.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Desonex, do not stall. Desonex intercepts athlete's foot before it turns ugly, killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. All you hard chargers, Desonex knows you. Stall no longer, please. There's a can at the store with your salvation in it. Come get it, or else don't blame Desonex.
It's like feeding time at the zoo out here. Everybody jumping in on the 102nd lap. Here's Alan Kowicki dipping back out again. Caution for debris on the track at lap 102, and everybody taking the opportunity to come onto pit road. It's a scramble down there.
Man, what a mess. I tell you what, when I used to drive those race cars, I turned down pit road and you couldn't even tell where your stall was. That there's so many people out there. You'd talk about control mass confusion.
Bobby Hamilton, Dave made it the third, getting tangled up a little there.
Well, Ricky Rudd just had a great pit stop here. Not quite great enough, however. Alan Kowicki's was just a little bit quicker and beat him on out. Everybody took 4 tires, 2 tanks of gas. They got a long ways to go before the next one. This thing has been relatively trouble-free all day.
Davey Allison, we have as unofficially in the lead with Ricky Rudd's number 5 in the second spot, getting ready. Let's see if he's going to dive onto pit road this time by.
I want to talk about. Well, I'm down here in the Alan Kowicki pit. They had a great pit stop, the 17, and possibly because of this man that you see on the screen. That's Andy Papathanassiou. He's the jackman on this team. He's a former All-American, academic All-American from Stanford. He played on the Stanford football team, came down south, and here he is jacking for Alan Kowicki. Just a great athlete, all-around athlete.
Here's Kowicki in first place. Davey Allison being shown second, and Ricky Rudd is being shown in third. And now you see Richard Petty's car in. There you see Derek Cope, who's running well back today. And there's Bill Elliott's car.
They just went under the hood. We don't know what they're doing. It was real quick. Tim Brewer lifted the hood. They looked out there and shut it back down. And now they're looking in the trunk. They're trying to find out. They're probably having a miss or something, looking for a fuel problem because they're looking under both ends. That sounds like Dale Jarrett we're listening to on the radio.
Let's see if we can get a word with the Dale Jarrett as he's talking about the temperature readings on car number 18, the Joe Gibbs car. Dale Jarrett, how is car number 18 running today?
Well, the car's running pretty good right now. Jimmy Baycard and the crew have done a good job of setting this thing up. This engine that Rick Wetzel and his guys built is just fantastic. So, we're having a pretty good day. We're up here in the top 10, and that's where we want to be right now so we can ride. We just keep this Interstate Battery Chevrolet going.
Well, you're running in the 6th position now. What are your intentions? Do you want to go up and lead some of this thing, or do you want to wait on them?
We're just going to kind of take it easy here. Long time to go yet in this race. A lot of things happened that last 100 miles. I just want to save the engine and the car, and I believe we've got something for them today, so if I can just be patient and wait for that last 100 miles, we'll be okay.
Good luck to you this afternoon. Dale Jarrett, 5th place finisher just a year ago. One lap and we're going to be racing. Dale's already had a second down at Bristol with this new racing team this year after they had a terrible time down there at Daytona, lost 2 cars. But Joe Gibbs keeps saying he's a winner in everything he does, and that's how Joe Gibbs judges people. Over here in the condos, looking down in the first turn, there's Felix Sabetis watching his car. Imagine he's having a little chat with Kyle now and then, huh?
See him putting that body English. Says, Kyle, get on in that hole. Don't lay back. Go on. Get on around there. Felix is coaching from the top, and that radio, I'm sure, will be running a little bit when they start this thing.
Well, that's one way to watch the race. Here we are, getting down for a restart. 106 laps complete when they hit the line. Kowicki jumps out in front. Takes about a 3-car length advantage over Davey Allison going down into the first turn. It's Ford first and second. Chevrolet in third with Ricky Rudd. Kyle Petty's Pontiac is in fourth. Running in 5th is Harry Gant, going 6th, Dale Jarrett, 7th, Mark Martin, 8th, Bodine, 9th is Slater, 10th, Wallace, 11th, Earnhardt, 12th, Darrell Waltrip, the 5-time winner, and Jeff Bodine is in 13th. Greg Sachs finds himself up to 14th spot. Back in the main straightaway, here's Ernie Irvan trying to get a lap back as they come down across the stripe.
Well, it's a shame the first of the race, Ernie had a lot of problems, but now his car, they got it corrected. He's trying to get one of those laps back. And while he's doing that, it's going to open the door for Davey Allison to get up under Kowicki. That'll put Davey taking the lead away down the back straightaway.
Totally different mindset when you come down to a start. The tires, they've changed a little. Everything changes when you come back out. And that's what makes these Winston Cup drivers so good. They know, they have a sense of feel about these cars. Look at the number 42, Kyle Petty, in 3rd spot as he clambers out of the ground some last cars and sorts himself out for a run at the leaders. Look at Davey Allison down at the bottom in the car number 28. Davey Allison looking very strong in this brand new car. An old bruised and battered body on Davey Allison from his win just a week ago this weekend. Took $300,000 in the Winston and crashed on the finish line with Kyle Petty.
Here's the Elliott car where we saw a little bit of problem. Let's go down the pit with Randy Perriman and see if we can find out what was happening to Bill's car.
Well, Tim Brewer brought him in, put the hood up on the car and the trunk. It ended up being a vapor lock problem, so they took the fuel line off, let it breathe just a bit, stuck it back on. They're not sure if they have it cured yet or not. Bill hasn't said anything over the radio since he went back out.
Thank you, Randy. We were guessing it was a fuel problem when they're working on both ends like that. Maybe they got it corrected.
22nd position is what he's running in. 22nd. Complete rundown for you after 100 laps have been completed here today. Back up in front, number 28. Davey Allison trying to become a back-to-back winner of this event. Doesn't happen very often that they win them back-to-back, but he's trying to do it right now out here.
What could be a scary thought for the rest of the teams is when Davey got in his car the other day, the first time he ran it on the racetrack, he says, you know, I believe this thing is better than 007. And 007, the worst finish he'd ever had, was second at this racetrack and won the rest of them. And he told me, he said, I think this is a better race car. If it is, these guys are going to have their work cut out for them even to stay on the lead lap with him.
Showing 110 now officially in the books. And the leader for the moment is one of the Alabama gang. Davey Allison is there. Can he stay there? We'll see.
The time has finally come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. Now you control the flow of paint. So the Wagner power roller can cut jobs in half. Smoothly and evenly, it can cover areas twice as fast. And cleanup is a snap. So you can finish one job and do another. Get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Today, performance cars come in a variety of designs, sizes, and even prices. So do Goodyear Eagles, the world's most successful line of performance tires. There are all-season Goodyear Eagles, new ultra-performance Goodyear Eagles. There are Goodyear Eagles for the classic and for the contemporary. No matter what performance car you own, there's a Goodyear Eagle priced for you. It's another reason we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Caution is out at the 112th lap. Richard Petty trying to dodge a car. Guess who it was? The man that was then running up in 4th position. Alan Kowicki's number 7 has just had an incredible moment in this race. Kowicki, there it is. Yeah, he was the one that brought it out. How about doing a 360 in turn 4 in front of the field and surviving? Little damage on the left rear, a ding there, but wait till you see what happened to Alan Kowicki up here in turn 4. Bonnet, how about this?
Here he goes. He's already coming around. There's Dale Jarrett. We were just talking to Dale right behind him. Watch the car 7 go down, but it's going to start backing up the racetrack. He just barely gets by him here. Here comes Mark. Mark's going to be the guy that tags him, I believe. Yep, he just clipped him in the rear. There come Rusty Wallace and barely clipped him. He bent that left rear fender, but he's sitting in the middle of the track in 4th place, and nobody else hits him. I promise you he'll take that little dink in the fender.
Yeah, watch it from this angle and watch those cars scooting, scattering, slithering around him here. Look at Brett Bodine getting down.
Yeah, but watch this at the very end. Let's keep this thing running, Ken. Right at the end. Watch Ricky Rudd. Watch his shot right here. The last minute, he barely avoids him or just kept nailing right in the rear.
Now watch coming into the top of your frame right now, folks.
Okay, we just see Ricky Rudd clear him. Okay, watch Richard Petty back there in the back. He's trying to get slowed down. He's looping it around. And he luckily doesn't get into anything either.
Remember, we heard earlier that he has a brake problem on number 43, and it looked like one of them didn't hitch up that time. But he avoids anyone else.
Now watch this car here come to the inside, tap the other in the rear. That could have been really, really bad. Just a few bent fenders. Every one of them would take that, I promise you.
Right behind Kowicki when that happened was number 18, Dale Jarrett. Let's see if we can get a word from him. Dale Jarrett, Ken Squire up here at the TBS booth. That was a close call, eh? What? Dale Jarrett?
Ken, I think he's making
Dale, can you tell us about that incident with Kowicki just now over in turn 4?
Ask people up there if anybody's at the race. Got tired.
Talking his crew.
I don't know if the 95 cars got any down here.
What they're asking for, Ken, is they already see they're going to need a lot of tires today. I saw each team had 11 and 12 sets of tires mounted. They're already shopping around for somebody that fell out to get them some more tires.
Well, here is the Joe Gibbs car, number 18, coming around. The Interstate Batteries car. Dale Jarrett in 4th spot. Harry Gant has come through this thing. You see him right there in 3rd position. It'd be great to have Harry have a fine day. Meanwhile, Davey Allison stays up in front. Interesting shot as they come down here by the condominiums and turns 1 here, and there's another set of condos a little further over. Actually, suites over in turn 2. There'll be condos there in probably another year, the way Bruton Smith and Hubby Wheeler do things around here.
Most of the guys stayed out. We see Bill Elliott. He's not content with that race car. They're still working on it, or he wouldn't give up track positioning. So every time they have an opportunity, they're coming in and putting tires on that thing.
115 laps complete, and we should be back under green very soon. Shortly here. Track is clear. Safety crew is doing just a dust down up here in the 4th turn right now. There you see Tim Brewer on that left front tire. Getting the Junior Johnson number 11 rolling once again. Elliott racing from the pole, better than a $30,000 bonus in Unical money if Elliott can win today. Richard Petty has been in the pits again and back out. Let's go to the STP Pit Center. Here's Rick Benjamin.
Okay, we want to update our fans. We're in the 2nd quarter, I guess you'd say, of this contest. We've been talking about Joe Gibbs and his Dale Jarrett, his driver, and in the football motif. We're coming up on the halfway mark, so that means it's time for you to call our 900 number, 1-900-436-7000, and get an entry in today's Gillette Halfway Challenge. Gillette, of course, the makers of Right Guard, antiperspirant. They're inviting you to participate today. If you call now, you're entered. And if we call you back after the halfway point and you can name the driver leading at halfway, you'll win that brand new Chevrolet Lumina Z34. Also, you have a chance at an instant prize if you have the right UPC code today. The driver leading at halfway here wins a $10,000 bonus, and it's always an exciting shootout as we move toward the halfway point of a Winston Cup event. So we'll keep you posted on the progress as we get toward halfway, but now's the time to call and be ready to be an entrant today in the Gillette Halfway Challenge.
Now, who did you say I should call for?
I just call that number and see if you could take a pick, but who are you going to pull for? Who are you going to put it down for leading halfway?
Well, I had picked Elliott earlier. I thought Elliott was going to be the guy today. Here we are at lap 115. We're 172 miles in. So you have a little time to make that phone call. 300 miles, the halfway mark today. As you see, Bobby Allison, the three-time winner of this race, his Ray-Besta Chevy being driven by Hut Strickland back on pit road, as is the Whitcomb number 10 with Derek Cope at the keyboard. Stay tuned for more. The Coca-Cola 600 live on TBS.
Monday, TBS salutes those who fought for freedom.
All right, Corporal, fall it out. Let's get moving.
Memorial Day movies.
Roger and out.
Fighter Attack. The Big Red One.
Let's go. Hold it.
Where Eagles Dare.
Lieutenant, you're here because you're an American.
Kelly's Heroes.
This is your hour of glory.
Memorial Day movies begin 10:05 Eastern Monday morning on TBS.
Outside this old world just keeps on.
Randy Travis, he's the best.
Still the real things are.
What a voice.
Hello. It's when you found the real thing.
Think he's as cute in person? Uh-huh. What I wouldn't give to meet a guy like him. Hey, Julie, want to ring up this Coca-Cola Classic?
Thank you. Can't beat the real thing.
It's nothing serious. It only wakes me up a couple of times a week. It really doesn't affect me. I avoid foods that are fried or spicy. I can deal with it. I just take antacids.
If you have frequent heartburn symptoms like acid indigestion or burning in the chest, talk to your doctor. These may be signs of a serious medical problem. Your doctor has treatment plans that can help.
It's only a heartburn. I should learn to live with it. Right?
Frequent heartburn. Isn't it time you talk to your doctor?
Introducing tire foam from Armor All. One spray, and even old tires look great. Kind of makes you wish we made car foam, doesn't it? New tire foam from Armor All. Just spray, walk away.
Salty spray, power thrust, tendency, Kawasaki, it's where I wanna be.
Introducing the hottest two-seater watercraft on the water, the Kawasaki Jet Ski Super Sport. With a sleek V hull and a powerful 750 engine, the Super Sport is where you wanna be.
Kawasaki, let the good times roll. Kawasaki.
You're riding with Mark Martin in 17th position, going around the Molly Black Gold, number 98, Jimmy Spencer. And Jimmy Spencer goes right back underneath him. Here comes Spencer out of 4.
Just saw Mike Walton and another car get together coming off 4 right in the middle of this big pack right here. There's Mark coming in through. Watch this. You run up on this track, see him hold his hand up, somebody hit him in the rear. He's going around down in the corner. That's just that you saw it just as it happened. Mark threw his hand up. Several cars going to the wall down there.
Derek Cope getting hit. Strickland's in it again, and Richard Petty. You were riding at 180 miles an hour with a Valvoline car when he got hit. Now they're racing back to the line with Davey Allison in front. The race came back under green at lap 117. We were away about another 50 seconds there. We came up on lap 119, and we were riding with the 17th position car, Mark Martin, when he got in trouble coming down the main straightaway. Here's Strickland out of number 12. Richard Petty's car has collided with the front end of the, or the back end of number 12. The front end of Richard's car banged up, and there's Hutt back to see if Richard is all right. King climbing out. Remember, he qualified 12th. Had trouble early with the brakes on this car. It slid up in the wall, and now Richard is coming out of car number 43.
You know, it looks like they're both of them okay. We saw Mark run up on that lap traffic real quick and throw his hand up, and just as we were talking about, somebody nailed him in the rear and then brought the rest of the stuff on right here.
So we're back under caution once again. This would be the 4th caution of the day. 4th caution thus far. We've had a total of 31 laps to date in this race of the 120 run, and they're checking on Richard in car number 43.
Kenny's out there walking around. He looks like he's okay. I tell you, I really felt like this was just like a couple of guys said this week, every now and then sometimes in racing something special happens, and I really felt like this would be it. I thought Richard would have a good week here, good run, but he's had a little bit of trouble.
Dale Earnhardt was saying the other night on our radio show, he said, hey, if I don't win this thing, I want to see the pink ticket. Here's the Davey Allison, who's been leading the event on pit road. Let's take a look at exactly what happened out here on Mark Martin as you rode with him down that main straightaway.
Here he was running over lap traffic real quick. He threw his hand up saying, I'm running up on traffic, but Rusty Wallace couldn't get stopped quick enough. Rusty tapped him in the rear. Watch him go across the grass down here. The only problem, he's going to go across that grass and cross right back up traffic in the racetrack, and then when they start trying to avoid him, you're going to see cars up in the outside wall. Came back down. These other cars wrecked when they saw him almost coming back onto the track.
Derek Cope, Richard Petty's 43, and Hut Strickland. Now, from Mark Martin's vantage, one more time.
Now here's the key. Watch him. He sees he's running. Watch him throw his hand up right here. See him throw his hand up and say, hey, I'm slowing down, but he didn't get it up there quick enough. He got tapped from the rear by Rusty, and now he's going. That light means the motor's cut off here. He's got the brakes locked up, killed the engine. He's going for a long ride through that grass. At that particular part, he's probably running 170.
Whoa, and back up on the track, and that was the scary moment. There's Ruttman just diving beneath him.
See him grab a gear with that right hand. He wants off of that racetrack. He stuck it back up gear and took off and kept going.
He got brushed. Left side of number 6, wrinkled. After this incident in turn 2, that at lap 120. Pit road's where it's happening, and there is Ruttman back in another time. Rick Mast just parked in front of him. The 49 car, it comes in for some service work here. Stan Smith, Alabama driver. And here is that Derek Cope car, number 10, that Buddy Parrott is now the crew chief on. They've taken a pretty good knock on the tail end of that machine.
They want to go down to pits with Dick Bergman. He's got something on the 6 car.
Well, Steve Beal was with us just a moment ago. Right now, he's going to talk to his driver, Mark Martin. Steve, how bad is the car?
Oh, it's just got the body beat up. But that's the car that won Martinsville, and it knows how to act when it's got a few scars on it. Mark says it drives fine. We just keep getting caught up in other people's trouble. Got a long ways to go. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, they just mowed a little Humpy's grass for him, I guess.
122 laps mean there is a long way to go. 183 miles have been completed. Dale Earnhardt pulling up beside Mark to say, hey, what happened over there, fella? There's Jack Roush looking on, concerned about this car number 6. Car that set on the pole for this race 1 year ago.
Well, you know, on a big racetrack like this, aerodynamics means something, but it didn't seem, Steve Mill didn't seem to be too upset about it. They said they're ready to go. It's beat up, but he's ready to race.
So Mark Martin in the Valvoline Ford in his 9th 600, not having much fun at this moment. Let's get a Goodyear Racing update in right now and go to Rick Benjamin.
Ken, a full couple of weeks of action here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Of course, today, the big payoff, the Coca-Cola 600. We were with you yesterday as well here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Champion Spark Plug 300 for the Busch Grand National Series. Let's go ahead and take a look at the green flag. The lead row is Jeff Gordon on the inside and Jack Sprague on the outside. Sprague in the 48 car on this warm and sunny day. They got a good jump and got off to a good start, but soon thereafter, Mark Martin took the command of the race in his Winn-Dixie Ford, the number 60. Mostly a Martin show during the race's first half. A major crash, though. Sprague, the outside pole sitter, lost it off turn 2. He collected Tracy Leslie, Chuck Bound in the 63, Joe Nemechek in the 87, a host of others. That was just before the midway point. None of those drivers were able to continue. Just before the halfway break, once we got back to green racing, Martin the leader, Gordon second. Martin's engine goes away. Jeff Gordon sliding down to the inside and leading to the mid-race break. And that was the end of Mark Martin's afternoon. At the midpoint, actually at the 102 lap mark, all the teams got to come onto pit road, make adjustments, make changes, put on tires and take on fuel, and generally get set for the final 98 lap portion of the event. The clock counting down to the green flag when the green came back out in the second half. A dandy battle. Dick Trickle in the blue car, the number 2, moving by Jeff Gordon on the inside of the white car. Dale Earnhardt's black number 3 and Dale Jarrett making it a 4-car dogfight. But Dale Earnhardt didn't stay part of that dogfight very long. Engine troubles knocked him out. A little later, Kenny Wallace in the 36 and Todd Bodine in the 34 get together. Wallace clips the wall, spins across in front of traffic. Very dangerous moment, comes sliding to a stop in the infield. He is able to refire. It took him a long time, but Wallace got back in the race yesterday. Another problem a little later on. Here's Phil Parsons on the outside of the 29, a 3-car sandwich. Gordon and Trickle get together. Everybody stays straight. And later on, Trickle again got got into it. This time with Todd Bodine. Both cars slide the wall, hit the wall a ton, really. And Todd Bodine, as you can see there, and Trickle got into the fence. Trickle ended up in the infield. Later on, Jeff Gordon went all by himself into the lead. Gordon easing to victory yesterday. He won from the pole. He won $113,000. Besides the $53,000 he got for winning the race, he won a $60,000 bonus that Charlotte Motor Speedway posted for any Busch Grand National Series regular who could win yesterday. Gordon collected that money as well. Gordon, a big payday yesterday, $113,000 plus for winning the Champion Sparkplug 300.
20 years old and a great career in front of him for Jeff Gordon with that incredible finish yesterday in the Baby Ruth car number 1. Here's Richard Petty's number 43 on the hook and being brought in. We're being told they're going to try to get this thing fired and going in one lap. Safety personnel all back on pit road. Sad conclusion to Richard Petty's efforts here in the 600. Twice a winner, 75, 77, but so many great memories of Richard Petty's performances. 31st consecutive, not consecutive, but 31st 600 was this one for the Level Cross North Carolina campaign.
Can I tell you, I won one of those 600s here, one of them that I did win. One thing that really made it enjoyable is I had to race Richard right to the end. And I'm telling you, to finally win one of the things with him chasing me, I think it meant more than anything just to be involved with it.
You know, one of the races that has always meant the most to Richard was when he finished 4th in here, 1987. He came across the line, and Blake Speed was 3rd in front of Richard, and Morgan Shepherd was 2nd, and of course his own son Kyle came home victorious that time. Well, now that we're sorted out and getting ready to go again, 125 laps have been complete. Greg Sachs, number 41, will have the advantage as we come down the line. The Kellogg's car will be on the pole. Then it'll be Jimmy Hensley, number 66. That's that Phillips Trop Arctic car from Cale Yarborough's team in that 2nd spot. And we're going to ride with the Phillips number 66, Jimmy Hensley, as the green comes out once again. Rusty Wallace is in 3rd. Ricky Rudd is in 4th. Kowicki is in 5th. And there goes number 4 trying to get a lap back in a hurry. Ernie Irvin scoots right down there. Up on the outside comes Jimmy Hensley. He's made 32 Winston Cup starts. Of course, he's a Grand National star of great fame. Here's Jimmy Hensley going for it, trying to lead a lap here in the 600. He's never done that. Never been around for the 600 before, but he's been around forever on the short tracks in the southeastern United States. Coming back to the line, and yellow is still being shown. Pace car is out. That's going to give Ernie Irvin that lap he needed back.
That thing is going to give Ken, it's going to give Elmo Langley a chance to race these guys. He pulled out in front of him down there. He's going to have to get in gear. They're catching him real quick right there.
Yeah, just if you could pan that thing, poor Elmo, who won the Legends race here. They're about to run right over Elmo right about now.
Elmo
there they are. There's the pace car, and it got out there, and it almost had a handful. Remember when Dale Earnhardt used to rub Elmo? He'd be in the pace car, and Dale pull up and push him down the back straightaway.
Yeah, well, they finally passed the rule, no rubbing the race car, because it used to be just fun. You get up there and bump on Elmo, and you lean on him. Everybody's kind of messed with him in that pace car. Now the thing is, you stay off of the pace car.
127 laps are complete. The caution is out again, and for why we'll tell you in a moment. We're checking on that. Bob Latford, our statistician, on the line to see what brought out this latest caution, as we have Jimmy Hensley with the advantage. Car number 66 going up in front here, coming back to the stripe. Great moment for him and for Cale Yarborough's team.
I don't know how many laps Ernie Irvin was down, but his car's been real fast all day long, and he got one of them back then, and he's taking advantage. He's turning down pit road now. He got the lap back, plus he'll get him 4 fresh tires now, so he'll be in real good shape when this thing restarts again.
Let's go to the STP Pit Center.
Ken, we're thrilled to have the king of stock car racing, Richard Petty, with us. He's just back from climbing out of the 43. Looked like you were off to a great start there early on, Richard.
Well, we thought we was. Then we had some brake problem. I went turning in the corner and locked the rear wheel up and ran into the wall and got that all fixed and come back out, and the car worked good. It didn't knock anything, some sheet metal and stuff, but it didn't knock anything out of line. But then the brakes didn't have any brakes, and that's what happened. I got into a deal coming off before they're supposed to stop, and I couldn't stop and had to spin it, and did the same thing going in one. Somebody lit up the tires down there, and I tried to stop and ran in the back of the hut, and I think somebody hit me. So
if we can turn around, we'll take a look and see what happened to you here a little earlier. Here's a replay of the event. It looks as though this is Mark Martin down through the grass.
I missed that one.
This is when you got together with Hut Strickland.
Yeah, I think I was back. I was back a little bit further, and we got into the deal. He was in front of, yeah, here we come.
Yeah.
I know we'd make the swing. There we go. See, there, just knocked the far out of him. Then he knocks far out of me.
Tough to work in turn 1 here without brakes.
Yeah, it really is. Really tough.
We're hearing that tires are going to be a problem. Did you notice the track getting real slick?
Well, the track was really, really slick, but, you know, everybody's got to run under the same circumstances, so whoever can stick the best will be the best.
Any final thoughts? This is your last ride in the Coca-Cola 600. A special day for you?
Well, it was special to begin with because we got off to a good start. The car was really working good, and, you know, I'm the same excuse everybody else have a problem, and I'm in here and they're out there.
Now, your son is looking very strong here. Who do you think is the stoutest car at this point?
Well, I don't know. I've been busy keeping myself, trying to keep out of trouble. But Kyle's real strong, and he'll be tough when it comes down to them.
We'll see how it goes. Thank you. Congratulations, Richard Petty, on a good qualifying effort today. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Gary Ballou out of Miami trying to make up a lap. He's underneath the 66, Jimmy Hensley. The great veteran Hensley in the Phillips Schrock Arctic car, who has won 9 Grand National races in the modern era of that group, now leading here in the 600. Look at this, 3 wide. Oh, my heart. That's Rusty Wallace on the outside. Michael Waldrop was in the middle, and down on the bottom was Greg Sachs in the 41. They're on a thrash up in front at lap 130.
I'll tell you what, that thing wouldn't work like that. When they went in there 3 abreast, somebody had to back out. Rusty was on the outside. He gave him a little bit of room, but that could have been bad.
Well, for the moment, Jimmy Hensley is showing everybody the tailpipe on number 66. Hensley having a great run. Let's go back inside the Trop Arctic car and just watch Jimmy Hensley as he glides this thing down. This is a fine driver. He's been runner-up, 3 times in the Grand National rank. Oh, we got a car in the wall. Up in Gary Ballou has struck the wall in turn 4, spinning down the main straightaway. A lot of guys getting out of the grass to try and miss him as they skate down through here, trying to pick it up and keep going. Stacked them 3 wide, coming out of 4, and Ballou ballooned into the outside wall and blew that car apart. Miami campaigner in car number 27 taking a lick. We'll take a look. Here's the 66 as your lead car. Gary Ballou getting out of the way, down to the bottom, leading. It's the 66.
You can do it. The Raymond family, looking for bright ideas at their neighborhood true value. And their family is turning to our family for the hardware value of the month. Light up the night with our master electrician motion sensor, which detects movement up to 50 feet away. A security must. And a true value at just $10.99. For personal service and low prices, bring your family to ours. You can do it with true value.
Racing. I can't explain it. You're kind of in a limbo zone. Time's different, speed's different, everything works different. It sounds totally cosmic, believe me. It's out there somewhere.
Kyle Petty and mellow yellow. There's nothing mellow about him.
Gary Ballou had qualified in 34th position for his first 600, clambering out of car number 27 after an incident up here in turn 4. As they were running high and wide, making some moves. I think he's trying to get a lap back when it all happened to him here. We're at lap 134 right now. And Gary Ballou walks away from his hopes of having a good finish here.
Now that's the Sachs car and Gary Ballou look like they got together right there. There goes Ballou in the outside wall. And then everybody's got to take evasive action. This group of cars stayed on the pavement, but I want you to look through the grass back here. It's not easy to go across this grassy area. They just started stacking up, nowhere else to go. I'm surprised they did this whole maneuver. We had 1 car that stopped. The rest of them made it through.
If there was a car that got nailed, it was the Brett Bodine, number 26. Look again at what happens here.
Yeah, it looked like the 41 car with Sachs and the 27 with Gary Ballou. Looked like they tangled up coming off the 4th turn. And then from there on, everybody had to just head across the grass. And this crossroads here is what's tough on these cars, bouncing over them.
Here's Bodine's car in as they do some patchwork on that car, and here's Randy.
Sandy Jones wielding the hammer down there. Now he's got the tire in his hands, going to put it back on. Some heavy left front damage, but it shouldn't be too bad back out there when he gets going. Aerodynamically, it's going to hurt him just a little. Brett's down and away.
They're chasing.
Brett Bodine coming back on the track, because he was the one that took the damage other than the 27 car. And there you see the damage on the left front of the Quaker State number 26. He's having a good run up to that point. That's going to mess up the aerodynamics a little. And there you see Ballou's car coming up on the hoist.
I tell you, these guys act like it doesn't bother them when they bend these cars up, but we're seeing the numbers ourselves of 175, 180 miles an hour. These things are going faster than most small aircraft fly, and you've got to have slick bodies on them, not only for speed, but for stability. When you start bending them up, they just don't drive good. But they work on these bodies in a wind tunnel so the car drives well, and you beat them up, they don't drive good.
This is Rick Benjamin in the STP Pit Communications Center. One of the stories we're watching is the tire situation. We're in the second quarter of today's event, and already we understand that there's a question about tire supplies for many of the teams. Dick Bergman, what can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that Goodyear brought 2,900 tires here, Rick. That's 500 more than they brought for this same race last year, but they are sold out of right sides. That doesn't mean there's no right side tires in the place, but here's where each of the drivers finds out whether they have friends or not, because some of these teams had as many as 10 and 11 sets of tires when the race started, and some of them are beginning to drop out. So we're about to watch and see some folks trade some tires for a future favor.
I tell you what, Dick, they sit around like a bunch of vultures. You'll see a wreck happen, and you'll see everybody head to that garage and down in that pit and say, man, let me have your tires. They don't wish anybody any bad luck, but when they see a guy have trouble, I promise you, this 27 car, he's got a premium on his tires down there. He can sell every one of them he's got.
Price go up?
Yeah, if you got a pretty good negotiator there. Go. Felix Sabatas is well known for paying premiums when you need them.
136 laps are down, 204 miles in the 600. More in a moment.
Inside your smooth-running engine is a torture chamber. And under these grueling conditions, only one leading motor oil in every grade meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown. Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol. Why make things tougher on your engine? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Drag racing results on Castrol's NHRA now. Dial 1-900-468-NHRA.
And isn't it true that this auto part did, in fact, come from the defendant's car?
Objection. Prosecution is leading the witness.
Overruled. You may answer the question. This part most definitely came from that car.
And how can you be sure?
I work for Napa Auto Parts. It's my job to be sure.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Napa people are parts experts, so they can answer any question, whatever the case may be.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by the following. Goodyear, #1 in racing and makers of Goodyear Eagles, the most successful line of high-performance tires in the world. And by Valvoline, people who know use Valvoline. And by the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
For most people in the world, the intense power of the F-16 is thousands of feet above. For you, it's a phone call away. The Air Force Reserve, a great way to serve.
And by the Gillette Company, maker of Right Guard antiperspirant and deodorant for maximum protection against wetness and odor. And the Sensor Shaving System, the revolutionary razor that adjusts to the contours of your face.
Well, it's a hot day here in Charlotte, North Carolina. The temperature's in the mid-80s, and the tempers are flaring, too. Gary Ballou walked into the pit area there of car number 41. That was Greg Sachs, and apparently took a swing at somebody over. That's the word we're getting there. So we're waiting for word on NASCAR about that, and we'll try to get you an update on the altercation. But apparently there was some sparks flying after they flew out here on the racetrack and turned forward. Getting ready for a restart at lap 138. 138 complete. They'll be working 139 as they come to the stripe. And here you have Jimmy Hensley out in front. Cale Yarborough, his car owner, never won this race. Wouldn't that be something if Jimmy? What an upset that would be.
Guess who's fixing to get another lap back? There's the 4-car, Ernie Irvin taking the lead again. I don't know how many laps he's down, but this will be 2 if he gets another caution. He's back in the lead. Here are Mark Martin's car going down the back straightaway. He said it didn't seem to hurt his car a while ago, but it doesn't seem to be up to speed like he was earlier.
Let's go with Jimmy Hensley. Fights it out with Rusty Wallace, and for the moment, Wallace has that advantage, as you see right there. Rusty's flanked the Penske car up in first place.
Yeah, there's Ernie Irvin. He's going to be battling for all he's worth to keep Rusty back there, because another caution flag's going to, if he keep doing this, you're talking about a 600-mile race. He realistically has got a chance to work his way back in. If he's running big wreck at 3 and 4, cars going everywhere.
Major wreck. Waltrip getting into it. Darrell is in it. I think Michael is up in the wall. And we're going to have 4 or 5 cars KO'd out of this one. Havoc in the 600.
And the 4 car did get a lap back. There's Kenny Schrader, who's been running exceptional. That's not going to help that bad neck he's got.
There's Michael Waltrip's car. It was in the wall up on the outside. Darrell's number 17 has been torn up. Schrader's car messed up in this one. This at lap 140. I hope you packed your supper.
Yeah, this could be an all-day deal. There's Schrader, boy, I tell you, that thing is messed up, and he's got to be disheartened, because first the race he was leading the thing, pulling away, and was working his way back to the front. Now they've got a lot of work.
Let's see how this one started up in turns 3 and 4.
Okay, here we go, right in the middle of the corner. Let's see if we can pick up what happens right here. There's Trickle. Trickle sideways because the 30's already sideways in front of him. Let's see if we can pick it up. I don't know if Mike Waltrip just lost it, and that was the start of it. When Waltrip got sideways, Trickle locked him up. Here he comes back down across the track. There comes Davey Allison. He cleared right through it without a problem. There's Gant, several of the cars getting through. But right on back behind this area is where they really, there's Earnhardt, the Gibbs car coming through. Now there's where, boy, right there, that's Kenny Schrader ran in the back of somebody and really caved the front of his car in.
It looks like Trickle's car came out of that all right. It spun, came up toward the wall, but didn't touch it. The 17 car spun. Darrell Waltrip, it's in. Oh, yes, indeed. The 8 car did take a bruising on the right side. Dick Trickle now on pit road, and you can see it took some abuse.
The 1 car of Rick Mass, they're down there working on it. I saw him go down across the apron. There's Sterling Marlin's car in. Here's Trickle's car. You can see that's that hammer they got there is not one you tune them up with. That's one you beat them out with. And he's got major damage on the right side.
Colliding first with the number 30 already spinning, Michael Waltrip in the Pennzoil car. The Stavola Brothers Snickers machine down, and they're trying to get it out here. They don't want to go down a lap. Get him back out there. They'll bring him back in for sure. There's Dave Mader, the 3rd, coming out and taking a look at the back end on Waltrip's car number 17 there.
With him working like that, he probably got tapped in the rear. It's no different than a chain reaction on the interstate. Just start piling in the back there. We saw Rusty's car. He's leading the race. The left side of his is beat up. There's not many cars out there that hadn't been scrubbing around a little bit. We're not even halfway in the 600-mile race yet.
Looks like Martinsville or North Wilkesboro the way it's going right now.
Well, the breed of racing we have now is close, tough racing.
142 laps now complete. 142 complete. And Rusty Wallace has the lead, and Alan Kowicki will find himself in 2nd with Jimmy Hensley in 3rd, and they get ready to put this one back under. Let's go down to Randy Pemberton.
Well, I'm down here with a very, very disappointed Michael Waltrip. Michael, what happened up there?
I don't know, Randy. Evidently somebody lost some oil, because I just went in the corner and the thing just turned around. Pretty as you please, no chance to catch it. I chased it a long way, and then I guess some other people hit the oil and started sliding up there with me and ran into me. But you know, Pennzoil's a great sponsor, and I hate all the problems we're having for them, but I hope they'll just hang with us. We'll keep digging and hopefully get this bus turned around and headed in the right direction before much longer.
You okay?
I feel fine. Like I said, it went sideways coming in, and I chased it all the way over here and almost caught it, but I guess other peoples were victim of the same circumstance.
Let's go to Dick Berggren, who's further down pit road with another story we've touched on earlier.
I'm with Gary Ballou. What happened on the racetrack, Gary?
Greg got up here and got a little loose up in 3 and 4. You know, he was in the lead lap, and we were trying to get our lap back. And I waited and let him get straight because, I didn't want to run over him and knock him out and take the rest of the field out, and gave him plenty of time to recover, and he got it recovered and got back down the bottom. And I was up at the top and had a nice clear line to go by him on the outside, and he just moved up like I wasn't even there and run over the left front fender and drove me straight in the wall.
You went into his pit afterwards. What'd you have to say?
Well, I'm just not real happy. All we're trying to do is get our lap back. We're not trying to race him or wreck him or cause anybody any other problem. But we're here to race also, and we just need a little bit of racetrack to race on. And I don't know, maybe he didn't know I was there, but hell, he had to know I was there. I just passed him, and he just passed me. So all he had to do was just stay down, and once he lost it, not come back up across in front of everybody. So it just wrecked us, ruined the race car. And we had a pretty good car going, and all we're trying to do is finish. And at that point trying to get our lap back.
Day's getting hotter.
Well, apparently it was words that flew, and that was all. That's good news.
Well, it would have to be 70 when I won the race, because the day before I ran fourth at Indianapolis and then came back here and ran and won the 600. And it's probably, not probably, it is the most memorable race.
When you consider everything the mountains have to offer, it's not surprising why anyone would want to work up here. Come to think of it, it's not surprising why they'd want to hang around after work either.
Looking for adventure? Then tune in to CNN Sports tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern and play CNN Scorecard. You could win great trips and prizes like a horseback tour in France or a Colorado River rafting trip. Look for this one-for-all display wherever electronics are sold. Then watch for your numbers on CNN Sports tonight. Collect a row and you could even win
A safari!
Get CNN Scorecards at one-for-all universal remote displays.
It is from Kodak. It delivers the highest resolution, microfine grain, superior image structure, for ultra-sharp detail. It is called Ektar. Ektar film by Kodak. The genius is in the details. Ektar film now comes in a new cartonless package in 25, 100, and 1,000 speeds.
Ford trucks, the best never rest.
People used to go out on Saturday night and leave their truck at home. Times have changed. Our 92 full-size pickup is still built Ford tough, but we designed it to be more stylish outside, more comfortable inside. Now, if anything gets left at home, it'll probably be their car.
More people are driving the best-built, best-selling American trucks than ever before.
Here we go again, guys. Wow, I feel good. Yeah, this guy really gets around. He's got the auto lights. American Orient Paul, we're guaranteed. I feel good. Yeah, 2 years no matter how far he goes. That's why we've been everywhere. Vegas. I feel good. Yeah. Daytona. LA. Wherever we're going. Superman, yeah. And we're not even tired.
Hello and welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're at lap 145, and there's better than 145,000 people. Closer probably to 175, all enjoying a great day of Winston Cup racing in the 33rd annual Coca-Cola 600, which after 7 cautions has Rusty Wallace in front, Alan Kowicki in second, Jimmy Hensley in third. Let's go to Rick Benjamin at the STP Pit Center.
Ken, we're joined by Hut Strickland, the driver of the Ray Besta Chevrolet. Hut, an early end to your day, and not the way you wanted to wrap up the 600.
Well, it certainly wasn't, Rick. You know, we had high hopes here today, and you know, it just wasn't our day, I guess. You know, we started out on the wrong foot there, you know, was getting involved with that first deal. And, and then, you know, we got caught up in that second deal when Mark spun down there. But we'll be back.
You've had some good runs this year. Do you feel your team is turning the corner now?
I really do. You know, Jimmy Finnig, the crew chief, has been making some super good calls on setting the cars up. And Keith Allman doing the engines has been doing a super job there, you know, dealing with a new Chevy head. Sure. So I really feel good about our chances this year. I think they're going to turn around.
Now, we've seen an awful lot of spins here just in the first 100 laps or so. What are track conditions like?
Well, I got to say right now the racetrack is probably looser than it has been the whole week, and probably looser than it's ever been since I've been racing here. I'll tell you, it's in pretty bad shape right now.
Hut Strickland, let's not forget, Neil, that he came in second in the Winston Open the other night. That team is really coming together.
Yeah, Bobby said they really got some development work going with their motor stuff, and it's really showing up on the racetrack. And, you know, an interesting thing that he said there is looser than it's ever been. But these guys have been working on these cars under cool conditions, working a lot of night practice, and it'll lull you to sleep. This has always been a hard racetrack to get a hold of. And I think what they're doing, they're feeling the normal old racetrack. We kind of got spoiled at night racing.
147 laps complete when they come down to the line this time to turn them loose, get them running once again in the 33rd 600. Going inside the third place car, Jimmy Hensley, as he crosses the line, puts a lap on Lake Speed, going down into turn number 1. We've completed 220.5 miles. There you see the sort out. Rusty Wallace, who's been critical of some of these drivers that he has called bottle rockets. He says they light up, take off, and blow up, and that's it. Of course, he was just involved in the incident himself, but he just came up on a field that was slowing down, and he had no place to go but into the back end of Mark Martin.
Here's a guy that's got to be tickled to death being second right now. Alan Kawicki spun by himself in front of that big pack of traffic and just got one little dent on the fender, and now here he is right here, right in to lead the race again.
Harbinger of the thing. Got a problem down in turn number
Spencer.
2. Jimmy Spencer sideways. Everybody got on the brakes and missed him.
I tell you, I'm not so sure they've been working on brakes more than they have motors lately. We see we see cars spinning, nobody's hitting anymore.
Here they are coming back to the stripe to finish lap 149, and there is no caution.
They put it right at the last minute, Ken. They just barely caught the leaders with the caution.
As they were coming to the stripe, they just stuck it out there, and they're wanting to check that second turn area, but they got them right underneath them. In fact, the leaders are still running wide open down the back straightaway. They haven't caught that yellow yet. I'm sure they've got them on the radio, but the 2 car and the 7, they went through that first and second turn wide open. Now they backed out of it.
It's almost questionable, do they get the flag on the leaders? And I think that's the reason they raced like they did. The flag went down just as they went on the line.
We're going to see the 66 car, Hensley staying in 3rd, Ricky Rudd in 4th, Morgan Shepherd 5th, Davey Allison 6th. Harry Gant is running a very good 7th right now. 8th out here is Terry Labonte, 9th is Kyle, and 10th is Earnhardt.
There was a 98 car Spencer. He went in, looked like he got a little loose. He leaned up against the 21 car, Morgan Shepherd. And right here, boy, all day long, they've been lucky. When they get in the track, we've had cars going passing them at full speed. There's Ernie Irvin down on the apron trying to avoid some of it, but lucky not to get hit when you're sitting in the middle of that racetrack.
So here's Berwick, Pennsylvania, as Jimmy Spencer back underway. Riding with Joe Ruttman here in the car number 20, which is well back on the field. He's running in 24th position at the present time, which isn't that bad. Joe Ruttman called him at the last moment. Upland, California native, having a pretty good run in that Orkin car at the present time. 150 now complete. Up in front, getting ready for green to come out again. It will be Rusty Wallace there with Alan Kawicki in that second spot. Elmo Langley won the Legends race here at Charlotte, driving that pace car just a year back on that little quarter-mile track. Remember that show?
Yeah, I tell you, it was a great show, I tell you. And they were serious about it. You know, Cale and all those guys, they wanted to win the race. And I'm telling you, Elmo raced him. He got after him hard and won the race. I didn't think anyone would come in. The only people that came in were the one that was damaged. You see the right rear tire, no more riding on that tire. It got scrubbed up against somebody else. Morgan took a shot in the left side when Spencer lost control and hit him in the left. So the only cars that came in the end were experienced trouble and just wanted to take a look at their cars.
So Morgan Shepherd back out another time in the Wood Brothers car. You won this race in, Neil.
Yeah, I tell you, when I drove that thing for him back then, it was a rocket ship. And if you could get her aimed straight, you could give them a run for the money. And I sure had a ball driving their car.
There you see Greg Sachs involved in that incident up here in turn 4 a few moments ago, and some damage in the back of his car. Here's the number 2 up in front, getting set to go. Lake Speed trying to get a lap back in the Purex, number 83, down on the bottom of the track.
I tell you, when that opportunity there to get that lap back, you run as hard as you ever have, and sometimes harder than you think you should. But it looks like Rusty got a big jump on him here. Lake Speed's not going to be able to get that lap back, but Kawicki's coming right after Rusty. Boy, is that some shot, Ken, looking down on that thing. You really can't see the banking right there, but look at the guys way up on the side. You see the sides of the race car there, 24 degrees, and back to straightaway really flattens out in a hurry. That's where they have a little bit of problem right there.
5-degree bank in that back stretch as they go down into turn 3. See the leader, the black car, number 2. That's Rusty Wallace up in front. As our Pennzoil platform gives you these shots.
They cut across that dogleg. You take the shortest route possible. See them clip the first corner, clip the second corner. You just kind of straighten that dogleg out and really sail off. Driver right down the middle. A lot of throttle get down in the corner.
Gives you some sense of the speedway as you watch it topside here. Rusty Wallace and Alan Kawicki, Pontiac and Ford, running first and second. Back down into that third turn another time.
A little bit different line. Quickie running about a half a car length higher through the corner than Rusty, and both of them get through there real good.
Back to the stripe they come. Back in third spot is Jimmy Hensley, and fourth is Ricky Rudd. Fifth, Allison. Sixth, Gann. Seventh, Terry Labonte. Eighth, Kyle Petty. Ninth is Earnhardt. He's picked up a spot. Mark Martin sticks in there in 10th. A little rippled and wrinkled, but still looking good as the number 6 Valvoline car. There's that 2 on the point, and here comes the number 7. That's Rusty Wallace out in front.
Again, it might be a little slippery and slick, but they just turned that last lap at a little bit right at 170 miles an hour, so it might be slippery, but they're still getting around this place.
Rusty Wallace, what kind of strategy are you going to use out here today?
I'll tell you what, there's not much strategy in Winston Cup anymore. In the middle of the race, I want to be leading it. The start of the race, I want to be leading. I want to be leader Dan. And if you don't have to drive